So strong.
They don't jump ball him a lot.
No.
Which is minute and 30 on the actual clock itself until the top.
Offense.
Top of the hour comes the
cool.
open.
I'm going to come out and say the wave's cool. I know a lot of
Correct.
people are anti-wave. I love the wave.
I hate the wave. It's the worst thing we do at stadiums.
Drew Brees left the game.
I like the wave. Why does everyone hate the wave so much?
I hate the wave.
Teddy Bridgewater now in.
It's dumb, man. It's like
The coaches
so
have the vision.
The players have
so
the
like,
skills.
So Dodger Stadium.
What happened to
The
Drew
beach
Brees?
ball.
Do we know?
We bring
He got hit and it looked like his hand. Something with his hand,
The
maybe.
basements
Oh,
and
there he
living
is
rooms
right
and
there.
garages.
We fire up the smokers.
Oh, Bridgewater's in.
Yeah, Breeze is out.
And throw the tailgate.
We stoke the love and the hate.
Eagles won 18-12 last September 6th.
The game
Remember that?
needs us.
Saturday
Was
needs
that here or
us.
there?
So, there's only one question.
What's what?
College football playoff returns Saturday,
All
December 28th
here,
on
all
ESPN.
three in the Peterson era.
That's
been
right,
here.
the 3 wins.
Smith.
Everybody
3-0
seems
against
to
them,
be
but they've all been
benefiting
here.
off the
They've
backs
all
of
been here.
collegiate athletes, but the collegiate athletes themselves. And big business is associated with college football
30
and
seconds until the
college
top of the
basketball.
hour.
We live in a capitalistic society. Why prevent these
Tone,
kids
before we go to the
from
first
being
break in the first set, go to
capitalists when
Luigi
your
just to
country
set the
is
stage
founded
for what
on
he's
this
doing.
principle?
Is he inside or
That, to me,
outside?
He's
is what it
outside
comes
right
down
now.
to.
Oh, he's right
The
behind.
Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN Radio and the Mays and Aton. The Sports Bash with Mike Gill. 97.3
Stand by, everybody.
WENJ, WENJHD, Millville, Atlantic City. The home of Philadelphia Eagles football. WENJ, WENJHD, Millville, Atlantic City, 97.3 ESPN. It's Eagles game day and time for the Countdown to Kickoff show.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
With Mr. Philadelphia, Tony Bruno.
All right, listen to the crowd. Yeah, they've been waiting to see this.
Live on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Give goes to Peterson. He is stacked up for a loss.
From Tolman Joe's, 26 East Oregon Avenue in the heart of South Philly. Presented by IBEW Local 98. Powered by Martin Law and fueled by the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union.
He is hit. He stumbles. He's down. And the Eagles take over.
Now, it's Eagles game day and time for the Countdown to Kickoff show with Tony Bruno.
You're live.
You are looking live.
At Tollman Joe's here in South Philadelphia. We are outside in the beer garden. It is a beautiful night for football and, most importantly, out here in the beer garden for cornhole. But we don't care about cornhole right now. But Luigi's out there. Hello there. It's Tony Bruno. We're live. We've got John McMullen, NFL insider. And tonight an outsider as well.
Outsider.
Inside, outside, whatever way you want to do it. And a man who was there yesterday, part of the thrill, the color, the pageantry, the electricity, the excitement that was Temple football as they slapped down the Maryland Terrapins right down the street from here.
Beat him up.
At the Lincoln Financial Field. How about that? We both, Harry and I, we all last week were talking about this. I don't know, John, if you were on board. We liked Temple to finally get it done this week, and they did against Maryland.
They look great. Physical. Warren mentioned inside about it looked like they just took them out to the schoolyard and said, hey, we're the 8th graders and you're the 4th graders and we're going to run you over. And that's what they did.
And Maryland's looked impressive the first 2 weeks.
That's top 25 team. I mean, anytime that happens for Temple, it's obviously a big win. And it's exciting. I think it's exciting when it's a difficult, let's be honest, it's a difficult town for college football.
Yep.
Because there's so many professional sports.
And it's pulled, too, from Notre Dame, Penn State fans.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No question about that. But when Temple is relevant in football, it's great.
Yes.
And they are.
Huge win. They took advantage of Maryland's mistake. Temple made mistakes special teams-wise. They need to clean up. But defensively, Sean Bradley and the host of single-digit players for Temple beat them up.
It was awesome to see. Hopefully they get something better than the Marmot Bowl this year. Is the Marmot Bowl still being played?
I don't think so.
Love the Marmot Bowl.
Mine's the Astro Blue Bonnet Bowl.
I know.
Remember
I missed that
That's
too.
tremendous.
They
and
played
the
in the
Pool Land Weed Eater Bowl has to come back too.
They played in the Gasparilla Big Daddy Lawnmower Bowl in Tampa a couple years ago, and they were riding lawnmowers through a maze. The fullback was riding the lawnmower through the maze.
How about the Tall Man Joe's Bowl?
That's right. We should have one right here. We can play it right here.
Have races on 95.
Yeah, right there. I-95 is right above us. People getting off at the Walt Whitman Bridge exit. We're right here at Front in Oregon. We'll be here up until 7 o'clock getting you ready for Eagles pregame from Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Eagles and the Falcons, we will break this game down to levels never before seen or heard on any kind of radio or TV. We're live on 97.3 FM and live on Twitch TV. Multiple cameras shoot tonight. So wave out to all our great friends out there listening around the world, watching as we are live on a beautiful night for football. Now, they're going to be inside, so it doesn't matter what the temperature is in Atlanta. They're in Mercedes. We were there for the Super Bowl not that long ago.
Beautiful stadium.
It really is spectacular. And it is the newest of the new ones.
Yeah.
And so the newer ones, the next one's always got to be better than the other one.
And Los Angeles will, because they're spending $3 billion
Exactly.
on
Two teams do. And I think the coolest part about what they do in Atlanta is everything's affordable.
Yes.
You can go there with a family of 4, and I think you spend under like $200 for tickets, food, and parking. It's pretty impressive.
But then you got to spend more in the clubs afterwards, though, because, there's a lot of quality clubs in Atlanta. And then you go in there, and then, boom, there goes your per diem. You know what I'm saying?
Family of 4 going to the club after an Atlanta game.
I think
Healthy
here,
trip in the South.
I think it's $200 for parking here.
Yeah, exactly, yes. Not at Tall Man Joe's, though. So come on down. Join our pregame fun out here. Luigi's around with the wireless mic out there. He's got on his Eagles camo jersey that we will be giving out here tonight to some lucky fan. He's out there watching a little cornhole action. Luigi, how do you feel, man?
I can't believe you can see me with this thing on, Tone.
Yeah.
Because you get it because it's camo. You get it. Do you get it because of the camo? You get it.
I get it.
People out here have seen the jersey. Have a chance to win this jersey along with 2 tickets to the Army-Navy game coming up, Tony.
How great is that? And that's sold out here at Lincoln Financial Field. And it's one of the greatest spectacles in sport. And I love the Army-Navy game. I love doing shots with 4-star generals. That's when you know you've hit it, when you're doing ice-lude shots with 4-star. Have you ever done that, John McMullen?
I have not. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Can I get the Army-Navy game? That's one of the best events you can go to.
I agree. I think it's underrated. Because people nod the naval, the military academies. Army's good again. Navy owned them for so many years, and now Army's legit again. So it's going to be a fun game again.
No question. When they're both good, relatively. I mean, we played Navy in the conference championship in 2016. They were a very good team, top 25 at times. Now Army took Oklahoma to the wire, took Michigan to the wire. Mm-hmm. So they're an improved team. That head coach there, what's his name in Army? I'm slipping me. Is it Munkin?
Yes.
Yes, Jeff Munkin.
Right, yes.
He's on a fast track somewhere. I don't know where. Seems like a great job in West
Point. A lot of guys
right?
that have those jobs, Army, they don't want to leave.
No.
Because they enjoy it so much. So we'll see. But, yeah.
Beautiful
Army was down for so long.
Yeah.
It was getting a little lopsided. Now all of a sudden it's up, and now Army's beating Navy every year. That's kind of exciting.
Now, Luigi, we're going to have some corn. How are we going to decide this? We're going to have to make a decision on how we're going to give away. Because one thing on these pregame shows that we do every single week here on Sundays at Toll Man Jones before Eagles games, and then on Mondays and then Thursday nights, there's always quality swag. And the great Joe Krause makes sure that everybody is excited. Because, seriously, have you ever seen giveaways on pregame shows like this, Colin?
Never.
I mean, tickets to Eagles Dallas games, tickets to all NFC East games.
These aren't the jerseys that fell out of the back of a car either. These are stitched.
These are legit.
Legit jerseys.
NFL right on the bottom. And Luigi's is a legit NFL one, too.
Yeah, this one's going right in the back of my car when this thing's over. No, we have so much space here. I was thinking because of the Army-Navy game, I was going to have people go through basic training.
Uh-huh.
But then when I went in the bar and saw the blood alcohol level that was going on in the bar, I decided that's not going to work.
We don't need that out here.
So again, we have the cornhole set up out here, so we're going to take advantage of that.
No Oklahoma drills tonight?
No Oklahoma drills.
Do any Oklahoma drills?
No. They're banned.
Not here, they're not.
No, not here.
Not at Toll Man Joe's under 95.
Well,
completely legal.
Have you ever done Oklahoma drills, Colin?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to know. You were pre-ban, right?
I was pre-ban. I remember if someone showed up late to practice, there was you couldn't go get water.
Uh-huh.
So one Dixie cup for practice. Got to be tough, not drinking water.
Now that's not the one where you hold the bat and go around. That's a baseball one.
That's dizzy bat.
Dizzy bat, right? Is that banned too? I think
no, it is not.
Watch the Phillies play. They do dizzy bat pretty much every game when they play, unfortunately. And then they fall over, and then they can't score any runs, and then their season ends, like it did this weekend against the Boston Red Sox.
Well, Tony, we're going to do it in two ways. We're going to have people come out here. They're going to give a chance to throw, make a bag, move on to the second round, and the second hour, the most bags wins. And they're going to take home both prizes, the jersey to go along with the tickets to the Army-Navy game.
Is this like the body bag game back in the Eagles with Buddy Ryan?
I don't know.
Well, we can call it that. There won't be any bodies, but there will be bags flying tonight here at Toll Man Joe's outside. We got the perfect. This AstroTurf is actually better than the turf at Veterans Stadium.
Oh,
no
doubt
that the
about
Phillies
it.
and Eagles used to play on for real.
Brian Billick would play on this.
I mean, this is a pretty good rug.
Yeah.
I've seen bad rugs. I mean, I don't want to mention any names, but this is one of the good rugs that you'll ever see outside. It's a good job. And it's got the umbrellas, got the lights out. It's going to be a beautiful night for football. Sunday night football. Let me play this to get everybody ready, though, man, because I love this thing. You ready to hear this in a couple of hours? The Eagles, 12-4 in prime time in the Doug Peterson era at Dougie P. You know what his record is against the Atlanta Falcons? 3-0. But all 3 wins have come here in Philadelphia. So tonight, can he keep his record intact down there in the Mercedes-Benz Arena Stadium, whatever the hell you want to call it? That big joint right in the middle of them, right next to the CNN Center. It's a good spot down there. Were you down there?
You have, I was at the Super Bowl. So you have CNN Center.
Right.
Then you have the arena, whatever they call that.
It's
I think
Phillips.
it's State Farm. No,
Yeah,
it
no,
used
it's
to be
State Farm. That's right. They just
State
changed it, by the
Farm,
way, yeah.
And then right across a little section is Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Not to be confused with Mercedes-Benz Superdome. In New
Exactly.
Orleans.
Exactly right.
Atlanta's cool. College Football Hall of Fame is fantastic.
Yeah.
If you,
Right across the street.
It's
Everything's-
the
everything's-
aquarium,
and that's what they
Georgia
did.
Tech's right there. It's unique.
Everything is like walking distance, and the Braves' new stadium's not that far away, but right there in
And I
that
only
area.
hear great things about that too.
Yeah, I mean, they do a great job in Atlanta. We had a lot of fun down there for the Super Bowl. We're going to Miami, and we know one thing. When we go to Miami for the Super Bowl, there will be fans in the stand.
There will be.
The Miami fans will all leave and go north, and we will head south.
It was like the Dallas game today.
Yeah, all Dallas
It
fans.
wasn't a Redskins home game.
No. And by the way, we heard the other night when we had our buddy John Kincaid in Atlanta saying there'll be upwards of 12,000 Eagle fans at the game tonight who made the trip down there. And not just the people who drove from Philly, but people who live in the, there's a lot of people from all over the country.
A lot of transplants.
A lot of transplants in Atlanta, in that vicinity, anywhere in that Atlanta, Georgia area. You get a lot of Eagle fans down there. So it's going to be interesting to see, because one of the things we also learned, and we're going to go live to Atlanta in the next hour, Scott Grayson from Fox 29 here in Philly, he's down there covering the game. We're going to go live and get a little of the feel of what's going on in the pre-games. John's going to have all the latest injury, who's going to miss the game tonight later on before we sign off. Is that right, John?
That is correct.
Is your phone burning up?
It's always burning up, and we'll get the inactive.
Yeah, you got to get a new battery. He overheats like that, man.
Yeah.
You can't be having his phone burn up. Plus, we got a lot of stuff, including a Darren Sproles update. Eagles and Falcons on Sunday Night Football coming up at 8:20 tonight, and we're here till 7 o'clock, and then we'll kick it over to Merrill Reese on the Eagles Radio Network with the official pregame show. In the meantime, grab yourself some crab fries. Grab yourself, they're called Old Bay fries.
Old Bay fries here.
Not to be confused.
You got
And then-
sweet potato fries,
got
regular
No
fries.
free ads. No free ads.
No. It's just brilliant marketing. What can I say? Plus, we'll get you up to date on all the other games going on. We had some shockers today. You know who's going to join us in this first hour? Philly's
2
biggest
minutes.
fan, Johnny
2
Doc's
minutes.
going to join us too with his appraisal of tonight's game. Philly's biggest fan. Tickets to the Army-Navy game, the jersey, John McMullen, Luigi. What more can you ask for? What more? Maybe they bring out more wings. Now, you were in there eating before the show, having the great wings here at Toll Man Joe's.
The shrimp were great. The buffalo shrimp, the wings, a little smoky flavor.
And I'm
great
here
barbecue.
schlepping,
Yes,
trying to get
we're
the show.
trying to get ready.
John,
I'm
John and
watching
I
the
are out
games.
here.
No.
Miss Robin's out here. John's out here.
You're
And
ordering
who's
the whole
inside?
menu, Colin.
He's in there chowing down while we're out here slaving over hot microphones and internet.
I
Eating
am
during the-
watching the games, prepping for the show.
Oh, yeah.
Just so happens I had, a dozen wings and some shrimp, and I'm staying ready. I got to be up to date. If you ask me a question about the Saints-Rams game, I got to be able to answer it.
Well, there's action going on right now, but
Drew
obviously
Brees is hurt.
Drew Brees is
Drew
hurt.
Brees is hurt. Ben Roethlisberger was hurt
Teddy Bridgewater is in the game for the Saints.
for the Saints. We'll keep an eye on that. Of course, the Patriots rolled as we expected. A couple of surprises today. Jacksonville
1
hung
minute.
tough in Tennessee.
At
the Houston Texans,
which is a loud stadium. You think Houston needs a big
13-12 game there. The Lions win at home. The Colts win in Tennessee, and the Cardinals give the Ravens everything they wanted and more in that game. They covered the spread, but they didn't win the game. But they covered the spread is all that matters.
Good teams win, great teams cover, right?
Well, no. Average teams cover, great teams win and cover the spread. I believe that's what it is. We're coming right back. We're live at Toll Man Joe's here in South Philadelphia, front on Oregon. A nice breeze. We're outside. Cash me outside. How about that? Come on down and have some fun here. Live on 97.3 FM and on twitch.tv, BrunoNation Live. We're coming right back.
Hour number 1 of the Eagles Game Day Countdown
Okay,
Kickoff
Hunter.
Show is fueled by Dunkin'.
Hunter.
After the Eagles win, you win with
I'm
Dunkin'.
sending you
This is Mays and Aton with Harry Mays.
I'm sending
and
you
Aton
an
Shander
audio
on
drop.
97.3 ESPN.
It's
and
a
the
military
97.3
march.
ESPN mobile app.
If you can download the audio for it.
Show noon to 2. We've got the Eagles.
When is this going to be played?
Harry? We've got a full day
This is going to be played in the second hour, if I can get it to you.
All the other NFL stuff. Noon to 2 on Monday, 97.3 ESPN.
How much time till we're back?
ESPN app.
About 2.5 minutes.
It's clearance time at
Everything
Rossi
good
Honda.
with the
And during
audio.
our September clearance
everything
sale,
sounds great.
You can lease the all-new 2019 HRV all-wheel drive for a new low clearance price of $149 a month. And don't forget, the oil
Shit,
changes
it's
are on
too
us.
big of a
Up
file.
to 5
Damn
years
it.
or 60,000
Can you send
miles
Gmail
with
to
tire protection
Gmail?
included. At Rossi Honda, we treat you better.
Let me
period,
see if
for
I
less.
can
On
store
Kelsey
this to
Drive
my
in Lyon.
computer.
Shop us 24/7 at RossiHonda.com.
I know Gmail to Gmail doesn't have any length of file issues.
See dealer for details.
At Rossi Honda,
have
you
For
are
file
getting
size, you
best-selling
mean?
SUV, the 2019
Yeah, correct.
CRV EX all-wheel
You gotta water
drive
it if
for
you
only
want this one.
$219 a month
Fresh.
with September clearance pricing.
Bob,
You
this
heard it
one's gonna
right.
get hot
For
out
LX
here.
money, you can now lease the EX with a sunroof,
All right,
heated
I'll
seat,
play
and
around
much
with it and
more.
see if I
Don't
can get it to
hesitate.
you,
And
okay?
don't forget.
Okay, cool. So we're going to
5
come back to an
years or
Eagles
60,000
Falcons
miles,
audio, and then we're going to play
included.
Smoke on the
Rossi
Water.
Honda,
Okay, perfect,
treat you
and then
better,
back into
period, for
Tony.
less.
31.95 down.
So the
Tax,
Saints
tags,
are
dock fees
3-3
extra.
now.
36-month lease, 10,000 miles per year to qualified buyers. See dealer for details.
Tone, open segment, no
Now's the
guest,
time to
anything coming up in the
travel and
next
be with
segment. So
people you care about the
you and
most.
John and Colin could just break
And
down
at
the Eagles
Holiday
game or
Inn
wherever you go.
Holiday Inn
Okay.
Express, we're helping you be
Dock
there
at the
for
bottom of
less.
the hour.
Save at least 25% at thousands of hotels worldwide if you book by
Good
September
afternoon.
24th.
It looks like
You
John
won't
is
want
wearing an
this
apron.
moment
They
to
say that
pass
doesn't
you
look like an
by.
apron. How does that look like
So
an apron?
book today
Apron.
at holidayinn.com.
People watching us on
Terms
the
and
Twitch
conditions
stream saying you
apply.
look like you're wearing an apron.
Credit Karma can help
Hunter,
you make
how's
financial
everything with the
progress by
audio?
giving you free scores,
Everything sounds
reports,
good
and monitoring.
audio-wise.
Beautiful.
But
1
Credit
minute.
Karma
1 minute.
does not give you the love that only a mother can. It's just an app.
Hey, Tony.
But
Yes.
you can use Credit Karma
Just
to
so you
help
know, we're going to
improve
come
your
back
credit.
with the play in the playoff game
Cannot
where they
solve
missed
the
Julio
eternal
Jones in the end
questions
zone.
surrounding the human
Okay.
condition.
Oh, come on, I need answers.
But signing up is free. No credit card needed. Just download the Credit Karma app now.
Oh, there's my answer.
Credit Karma. Here's to progress.
So you think you have unlimited data?
So give me the read on it. It's play music.
Again, if you have unlimited data
What's
on
the-
a network
what's
you
the
can't
order?
trust, your data
I
is
will play
limited,
the audio
and so
cut,
are
and then I'll
you.
go
Set
into
your
the
smartphone
music
free
after
with
that.
the
Audio
new
and then into
unlimited
music
plans
bed,
from Total
all right?
Wireless. Get 4 lines with unlimited data
Correct.
on the nation's best 4G LTE network with 100 gigabytes
20
of
seconds,
high speed
20
and 2G
seconds.
for just $25 a month per line.
You have arrived at your destination.
Get the new unlimited plans. Total Wireless, total confidence. Available at Target. See terms and conditions at totalwireless.com. You're listening to the Eagles Game Day Countdown to
Stand by,
Kickoff
everybody.
Show. Get to Tolman Joe's
Nick.
and register for
Nick, can you
your
bring us
authentic
up,
Tony
please? We're
Bruno
back
Eagles
in.
game jersey. Presented by Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers.
Ryan for Jones and no. Couldn't stay in. Darby with the coverage, and that is the way opening night ends.
Push the receiver out of bounds. There is no such thing as a force out anymore. Has the ball in his hand.
We're back. Toll Man Joe's, South Philadelphia. Beautiful Sunday night for national television where the Eagles have really, really played well. 12-4 in prime time in the Doug Peterson era. 3-0 against the Falcons, all at the link. Tony Bruno, John McMullen is here. The great Colin Thompson's here. Luigi's back there watching cornhole and ordering fries and all the other things that you do when you're the roving reporter. In the meantime, let's start breaking this game down, fellas. By the way, it's now 3-3. Saints and the Rams. Will Lutz has just kicked the field goal to tie the game. But again, Drew Brees out of the game. We'll get you an update on his situation as soon as we can. John's on the phones working it. But we got to break this game down, fellas. It's never too early to start talking about Sunday Night Football. Gave you some of the stats. That play-by-play call you heard was Julio Jones last year. You remember? And Julio Jones is a beast. We all know that. But the one thing Julio Jones does not do is score touchdowns. Anybody with a fantasy team. But they still take him, though. Luigi, why do you still take Julio Jones on your fantasy team, even though he doesn't get into the end zone?
Because he's 1,400 yards, 100 receptions. Easy.
That's what it's all about?
That's what it's about.
I mean, last year against the Eagles in the playoff game, 9 catches, 101 yards.
He always puts up numbers.
I mean, huge numbers.
But then he doesn't score and you lose.
But Tony,
what good is it if he doesn't score and you lose?
Last year was the first year he was
20-something fantasy points.
Last year was
fantasy points.
It is. Last year was the first year he was actually held out of the end zone more often than not. He had a little bit of a bad luck. That's all it was.
I don't understand why they don't work him in the back shoulder, throws, fades,
Exactly. He's
slants.
a monster. I've loved the kid since he was at Alabama and I watched him.
Hey, John,
play
I was saying I don't understand why they don't do it either last year, too, because I need him to score so many damn points for me.
698 receiving yards in his career against the Eagles in 6 games. 0 touchdowns.
Always picks up big numbers, but doesn't get in the end zone. And that was the playoffs, the divisional round here, when Ronald Darby stops them. And if you think about the Eagles' run to the Super Bowl, their most difficult hurdle was the Falcons.
Yep. But they've been able to get over them most of it. I mean, obviously, last year they handled them. You know, going to the Super Bowl, they handled everybody. They handled who they needed to when they got to the Super Bowl. And the question now is, we talked about this all week. The pressure has to be on the Falcons tonight. I know 0-2 doesn't really sink your season, but 0-2.
Nobody wants to be 0-2.
Exactly. I mean, if the Falcons don't win, I think the Falcons are in a almost must-win already in Week 2 of the NFL. You agree with that, Colin?
I do. Their division's a little a mess. I think Carolina went out and laid an egg.
Yeah.
Tampa is not very promising. And if New Orleans wins today, though, you're at an uphill.
But you're concerned, depending on what happens with Drew Brees.
To answer your question, yes, you're concerned. I mean, last week Ryan goes 33 for 46, 304, 2 TDs. You think 304, 2 TDs? It's an Atlanta win. No, they didn't play well. They really didn't play well.
They were down 28-0 in that game, so it was all pass at that point. So you kind of throw the numbers out. But the Eagles have talked about that all this week because there was a block punt early. There was a turnover. All of a sudden they're down. The game's essentially over. It's kind of an outlier. They didn't even look at that game when they were game planning. So they understand how difficult the Falcons are. Tony, I think the worst part of this game for the Eagles is the spot because they are desperate. They don't want to go 0-2. This is their home opener, Sunday Night Football. People are going to be excited. That is a tough spot in the NFL going on the road for the first time.
And one thing we could say, the Eagles are not looking ahead to Detroit. Now, Detroit found a way to win, and it was an impressive win today because,
no question.
Let's be honest, the team they were playing didn't exactly. I mean, the Chargers shot themselves in the foot all day long, but give the Lions credit. So you don't have a look-ahead situation here. I mean, so the Eagles have no excuses not to go down there. And the one thing, guys, we all know this, statistically proven, the Eagles have been a horrible first-quarter team going all the way back to last year. They, in the first quarter, the stats here are really, really ugly. They have 2.7 points per game they've been averaging, 57.1 total yards in the first quarter since 2018. That's 2.4 points per game, 57.1 total yards in the first quarter going back to last year. Last week in their opener against Washington, 0 points, 24 total yards in the first quarter. So they found a way to come back and win, but that's got to be a real concern for Doug Peterson and this offense. You got to come out and score some points, especially at home. If you score some points on the road, at least you have a little momentum, which Washington got from them last week because the Eagles weren't able to do anything in the first half.
Atlanta's going to come out and give you the base cover 3. I heard you talk about it this week. It's the old Seattle way. Dan Quinn is a product of that system. Actually, Dan recruited me to the University of Florida at the time.
Did he really?
Dan was a defensive coordinator at Florida under Muschamp for 2 seasons, then went back to Seattle as the DC for 1 year, and then all of a sudden he's in Atlanta. Great guy, Jersey guy, but he's tried and true to what he wants to do defensively. And like you said this week on the radio, John, if you have the right personnel, you can get away with that. They have some guys that can do it with Neal and Jones, who's the runner, like a Bobby Wagner at linebacker. So I like what they do. But here's what you got to do to start off hot. You got to go and feed the guys you trust. The camaraderie between Ertz and Wentz has to be prevalent early in the game. To me, that's the best way you start hot, is getting those two clicking. I think once you have that happen, it opens things up. I know it's an inside-out approach. You think, hey, we're going to throw a deep bomb. We're going to stretch the defense, get the safeties backing up with D-Jack. I think a heavy dose of Zach Ertz early and often, that confidence grows to the offense, and I think they click a little earlier.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's an intermediate game. I've described it. That's what the Falcons want you to do. They want you to get impatient, take chances down the field, because they are going to be playing cover 3. And there's an opportunity for mistakes from a defensive standpoint there. Now, that means the underneath, the intermediate stuff, Zach Ertz, Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, I think you have to start there. And then all of a sudden you turn the tables. If you get Atlanta frustrated, maybe they start creeping up, then you can go over the top. I think you have to approach it that way.
And I think when you look at the stats from last week, Jackson 8 for 154, Ertz 5 for 54, Jeffrey 5 for 49, and then it goes down receiving wise. Every week, I think somebody different will be on the top of that board.
I agree.
I really do. I think it will flop because they have so many weapons, and we really didn't even see a lot of Nelson Aguilar last week. But I think he's another guy who can pop. He's got the ability. He has experience. So, like I said, there's going to be a new hot hand every week, and the other guys are going to have to take a back seat, hang out, wait for their opportunity, because they're going to come. You're still going to have your targets. There's a lot of weapons. There's 3 running backs. There's 5 wideouts. There's 2 tight ends that they like. So
it's hard to keep everybody happy.
And it's not really you're 100%. If you win, everyone's happy. It's not a big deal. Everyone's going to get theirs. They're a pretty mature, tight locker room. These are guys that have been there and done it in the offensive skill positions. And, again, what stirs the drink is their offensive line. They allow them to do a lot of things that most teams can't do, moving the ball around. So I'm interested to see what Doug's going to come out with the first 5 to 10 plays. Because, hey, the proof was in the pudding. Vikings came out and ran the ball last week. Now it's a different approach, than what the Eagles do, running the ball out of the power eye with the fullback tight ends look. They're going to have a spread look, maybe 5 wide and a running back, 4 wide and a running back. It's going to be a little different approach, but I'm interested to see what the first 5 to 10 plays are. That's going to tell us a lot about the game.
I know what John McMullen's interested to see. Who's going to get the carries? Is it going to be Jordan Howard?
He wants the solo back.
Because, it's funny.
I hope so.
Back in the day, it used to be throw the ball. Now it's like, who's going to run the ball? There's so many guys. Jordan Howard. Is it going to be Miles Sanders? Is it going to be, is it going to be Darren Sproles again getting a lot of carries tonight?
Boy, I'll tell you, Darren Sproles is 36 years old. He touched the ball 16 times last week. If he's touching it 16 times each week, he's not lasting 16 games. That's number one. Jordan Howard has proven he can handle volume. He's the only running back here that has proven that.
He's a true volume running back.
Yes. I will say that, people kind of misinterpreted what I said. Everybody in this league uses a committee approach in the backfield, except the Carolina Panthers. Christian McCaffrey plays every play.
He does a little bit of everything, too.
Yeah.
Well, and the Giants, even though they stink, they have to give it to Saquon.
Yeah. They have Wayne Gallman there, who's with Clemson. He's a solid third-round pick running back. He's a good player.
So it's not about the committee. It's about how they use it, and there's no defined roles. I think Jordan Howard, he's a one-and-done guy. I told you this, Colin.
2 minutes.
He's not coming back next year, so what do you do with a running back that's a volume runner that's not coming back?
You give him volume.
Yes.
You pump up the volume.
It might be an ugly part of the game.
Can we get a drop for that?
Yeah. Might be an ugly part of the game, but you run them into the ground.
And what John means when he says he's not coming back next year is if he has a great year, the Eagles aren't going to pay a running back. And if he has a bad year, they were not going to sign him. Unless somehow, some way they get him at a minimum. It would probably, hopefully he doesn't get injured, but that would be some sort of case where if something happened, hey, sign him for a veteran minimum, give him another shot. Because this is a guy who had a great career in Chicago. And like I said last week, he was not – they didn't give him the ball in Chicago because they don't think he's good. It's just not the offense.
Right.
And it's the similar offense, the same offense here. Matt Nagy, Doug Peterson, Andy Reid, it's the same outfit. And they really use a committee of running backs, and they really love running backs that create one-on-one matchups with linebackers just for the passing game alone. It's like run just to say we ran the ball, but really it's explosive plays downfield. That's what their offense are all about.
One thing since Shady,
1 minute.
one thing the Eagles have proven is that there are very few running backs are really a disposable position. They can plug guys in every year. I mean, the entire backfield from last year is gone for the most part, other than Corey Clement.
They won a Super Bowl with Corey Clement being a star. He was an undrafted guy that year.
And Josh Adams last year was your leading rusher, undrafted.
Yeah, and he's not going to the Arena League or something, I heard?
Josh?
No,
he's probably on the workout wire
he's
somewhere.
with the Jets.
Okay.
Is he on the practice squad there?
All right.
20 seconds.
We're coming right back.
South kid.
We're live at Toll Man Jones. I smell garlic. I'm getting hungry. We're getting closer to the kickoff.
It is South Philly, though.
Oh, well, you got to smell garlic. Exactly. You smell garlic everywhere. We're coming right back live at Toll Man Jones, 97.3 FM, Twitch TV. We're countdown to kickoff, baby.
You're listening to the Eagles Game Day Countdown to Kickoff show, presented by IBEW Local 98. John Doherty, Business Manager.
Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Tony Basilli and I will have the call for you when the Jets take on the Cleveland Browns. Both have
Hunter, you there? How much time?
Thanks to some veteran additions.
3 minutes.
Should have Doc calling in. I'm going to text him now.
And
Perfect.
Le'Veon Bell joins Sam Darnold with the Jets. Join us for all the action and hear the NFL all season long from Westwood One.
Football lives on 97.3 ESPN FM.
There's nothing like having the best of both worlds. And if you need quality orthopedic care, that's what you'll get from Cape Regional Health System. First, you'll get the personalized orthopedic care the Cape region has counted on for decades. And through our partnership with Penn Orthopedics, you'll now benefit from nationally ranked clinical expertise respected across the country. For an appointment, call 609-463-CAPE or visit caperegional.com/orthopedics. Cape Regional Health System and Penn Orthopedics, the best of both worlds for a healthier life.
The 2019 Ford F-150 is, wait, what's the word? How would you describe something that has a body made out of high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy? Something with best-in-class torque and payload that can tow up to 13,200 pounds. And something with the smarts to know that even after being able to do all
just
of
audio.
that,
You just have fun.
can always use a little help
When Doc's here, when Doc is live, they'll be live.
Yeah. I remember the word.
Hey, Joe.
It's tough.
We have the Eagles locker room before the Quaker City.
Right. Locker room, then audio, and then I'll bring up Tony. Just let me know in my ear if John is there.
Okay, he's not here yet.
Okay, I just texted him. Locker room is Doug from last week, right?
Glass full-size pickup.
Correct.
8,500 pounds GVWR. Max towing varies based on cargo, vehicle configuration,
I just texted him the call, so just look
Max
for
payload
him.
varies based on accessories and
Okay, we have about 1 minute, a little bit over.
Towing and payload are independent attributes and may not be achieved
1 minute, Tone. We're still waiting on Doc. We're still waiting on Doc.
Years. You could see the look in their eye.
Audio
like
cut from
recognized
Peterson.
The smell on you, and you just die
Then
a
the
little
Quaker
inside
City.
because you knew you
How long
would
is the
hurt
Quaker City
someone.
music?
Since I switched to Jewel, I don't even think twice about it. It's like a weight lifted off.
Hunter, how long is that audio
Stacey
track
made the
from
switch
Quaker?
in 2016. To make the switch, visit JUUL.com.
A whole minute and 50, so I was just going to let it play for like 20,
Let it run a little
25
bit
and
till I
fade it
see if
out.
Doc till I see if Doc calls in. All right.
What did you say? You cut out a little bit.
I said let it run in, let it run out a little bit until I see if Doc calls in.
Appointments to walk you through the opportunity and
Let me know when he's there.
You're good at what you do, so leave digital marketing to Town Square
25
Interactive.
seconds.
We'll make sure your business has the online presence it deserves. Month-to-month contracts, so you don't have to deal with.
Still don't have
automated
Doc
answering
yet,
systems
Tone.
when you
I'll
choose
cue you
Town
when he's
Square
there.
Interactive. To schedule your private one-on-one meeting, call Jim at 609-910-5247
Stand by, Doug Peterson clip coming up.
today.
You're listening to the Eagles Game Day
10
Countdown
seconds.
to Kickoff show. Get to Tolman Joe's and register for
Yeah, they were
your
dogs.
authentic Tony Bruno
They won the
Eagles
game
game
outright.
jersey. Presented by Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers.
Nice way to start the season, guys. We talked about it just being 1-0 this week.
Stand
That's
by.
all we want is 1-0. You got it done. Resilient group.
Hunter,
hung
let me know
together.
if you have
That's what
Doc.
I'm talking about right there.
I do not.
You 1-0. Great job. Congratulations, man. Just a precursor to next week. Now we got to go on the road. Just to put this in your mind right now. If we're going to win multiple games, you got to do it on the road as well. Not only take care of business here, but you got to go on the road and do it too. Okay, so that's our focus this next week as we prepare for the next one. Hey, congratulations, man. My hat's off to you. Way to work. Love it.
And you already know we're going to get everybody's best shot.
But as y'all see, when we play together, man, that don't matter. We got everything we need right here in this huddle, man. The next week is just a race to improve till we see the next opponent.
We'll have to get up. Where's my little parasol? We're live at Toll Man Joe's here in South Philadelphia, Broad, Oregon. I almost said Broad, Oregon. I was thinking of the old Mummers parades on Broad Street.
We have them, Joe.
There's
We
plenty of
have
broads
them.
on Oregon, too, Tom.
There's a lot of broads on Oregon, especially at the Mummers parade. Thank you, Mr. Me Too. Now, that was Luigi, ladies and gentlemen, who said that. That was not me. We're here in the beer garden. The AstroTurf is warming up. And ladies and gentlemen, speaking of the Mummers, there could be no Mummers parade. There could be no string band show of shows. There could be no countdown the kickoff show live from Toll Man Joe's without Philadelphia's biggest fan, the great Johnny Doherty. You ready tonight, John? Is he ready? Is he there?
He is here, but I guess it's not showing up.
Johnny, I don't hear him. Oh, there he is. Were you doing the mummer strut and then not pay attention that I was talking to you? I don't hear him now.
Oh, we got fries, though, Tony.
We got fries, though.
Hunter, do we have Doc?
Now, can I give
We
you
do,
guys-
but I guess there's just a disconnection going.
Okay.
Okay, let us know when he's back.
So
Have him recall you and then bring us back.
I can eat pre-show to prep, but now you guys are going to eat during
I
the
have
show.
to eat. I haven't eaten since I had a biscotti this
Yeah.
morning.
We were
That's
working
it.
before while you were
And I was
just-
working watching the game.
I had a damn biscotti all day. Dip it in toast. I mean, in my coffee. That's it.
That's
you can't
fantastic.
live on that. So while we came over here 4 o'clock, set the equipment up. We didn't have time to go in. I said we'll eat after, before the game. But I got to have a little something, a little nosh, just to get a little sugar. See, now I got the regular. These are the sweet potato fries with a really nice honey glaze. Can you dip that in there and check it for a second?
It's like a cinnamon.
It is.
Butter.
It's got a cinnamon butter. What does it have? Caramel, cinnamon caramel.
That's big time here.
Try it again. He just called back.
All right. Hey, John, you there now? You caught me in the middle of a sweet potato French fry with some caramel cinnamon dressing. Butter. Johnny, you there?
I don't know what's going on with his phone.
I don't know what's going on either.
Yo.
Oh, there he is. I keep hearing you say yo, and then you disappear. You all right now, John?
That keeps disappearing.
What is going on back there, as Harry Mays would say?
Must be his phone. I'm going to call him from a different signal.
Tony,
Yeah,
I
call
think he's so excited for this game he can't even speak, Tony. I
He's
think that's what it
speechless.
is.
I am too. But anyway, we'll get back to Johnny Doc.
I'm going to call him from a different hotline.
All right, call him from a different hotline. Can you guys talk? I just want to take one bite because it's not. Even though I've eaten on the
Yeah.
air many
Yeah,
times.
at least I'm being professional. I'm going to wait.
Yeah,
for
I
the
just want
commercial.
one. I just want
John and I got it. Don't worry
when
about
you
it,
watch the Food Network, right?
Oh,
When
here
you
we
watch what's his name in the Flavor Town, when
Guy
he goes into
Fieri.
the
Guy
kitchen,
Fieri,
Guy
yeah.
Fieri goes into Flavor Town, and he's over there. Does he not take a little taste?
Oh, he does.
Of the food.
So we're going to talk football while
No.
you eat. Is that what you're trying
I
to
got
say?
it right there. I just wanted just one taste.
John and I will carry the show.
It's best if you just let him eat it. That way he stops talking about it and we can just move on with the program. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, just a little bit. That's
Take
all.
it. Talk to us. What's going on back there? How you making out with the camouflage jersey? Anybody interested in the jersey yet? No.
Luigi?
Any takers on the new camo jersey?
By the way, it's a Carson Wentz if you can't tell because it's camo.
That's right.
Carson's he's a hunter.
Now, you have your mic on?
That's true.
Yeah, I'm mic'd up here, Tom.
We're asking you a question back there.
It's a Carson.
Are you getting anybody inquiring about your jersey?
Absolutely. People are inside. They're waiting to toss bags. They've been out here practicing for the past half hour.
Okay.
The band just went
All
on
right,
break.
guys, give him
crunch,
one more shot.
And when we come back right around this, right 5 before 6,
There's a lot of jokes
We're
about
gonna get ready.
tossing bags I could throw out there.
I
But
know.
I'm going to take the
All
high.
right, Johnny Doc, I think we finally have him now. He's going to be angry once this game starts, especially if things don't start off well for the Eagles on offense down in Atlanta. John, you there? Johnny Doc?
No, we're not. We're just not. It's not connecting today.
Wasn't meant to be.
I'm going to have to call the electrical engineers people and have them come down there and figure out what the hell's going on. We got some cross wires or something down here.
John Spone is like the Eagles' offense early in
In the
game.
first quarter, yeah. Oh, that's good. See, that's good.
Or it could be our phone. Could
Believe
be
it.
our phone.
This is never.
That was great, right there.
Oh, there he
There we
is.
go. There we go.
Is that your phone or our phone, John? What's going on?
I don't know. I talked to everybody else today. I guess it's your phone.
We're gonna take the hit. We're gonna take the hit.
I'm just a pretty voice on the radio. I have no control over the horizontal or vertical portion of the show. So, John, how you feeling about this game tonight? Everybody, we all know Atlanta has to win this game. We know Doug plays well against them. He's 3-0, except not down there, but here. How are you feeling about this one tonight?
Yeah, I think it's normally I would have some concerns about going to Atlanta, Matt Ryan after a loss. I just think that we got a much better team. I think the talent's on our side. You watch that game, Minnesota ran the ball down their throat, and watching Cousins today, I never really liked him. I like him less today.
I think everybody likes him less today. He was doing his Eli Manning impression today.
Except me, I had the Packers. I knew the Packers would beat them.
I think the Packers are a good team. It showed last week against Chicago. Chicago's a good football team, but I do think Green Bay is good as well, and it definitely showed.
Yeah, because you saw it last week, John. You had he threw the ball 10 times. All he was last week, Kirk Cousins, was a handoff machine, and it worked. Today he had to throw the ball,
and by the way, it was
work.
working again today. The Vikings were driving for the win. It was Dalvin Cook. Then they let him throw the ball at the 8-yard line, interception.
Exactly. So what are you looking at tonight, John? You have to run the ball. I mean, if Minnesota ran the ball against them, shouldn't the Eagles be able to get some sort of, not just run it, pound it, but run the ball to set up the pass, and then there's no way Atlanta can stop them, I don't think.
No, I agree with you, but this is the Philadelphia Eagles. This is the Andy Reid, Doug Peterson mentality, so I don't know if they can run the ball 3 times in a row. I would pound Howard. I would pound them all, one after another, and just try to beat them up. That offensive line is much better.
How about if they just throw the bomb on the first play to Deshaun Jackson?
Cover 3.
Beware. You know that.
Beware.
Keanu Neal is a box player, too. He wants to come up in the box and make tackles. He's not a pure cover guy. He can do a little bit of everything. He's a first-round pick out of Florida. He's knocked me out before. I felt his presence physically in a practice. He's a big hitter, but I do think there's some positions to expose on that defense. What do you think?
I agree. I totally agree. I think the Eagles will be able to mix it up on offense. I don't think the Eagles have a problem against the Falcon defense. The question is, will the Eagle defense be able to stop these guys tonight and slow them down at least?
Can they go shot for shot with them? Can they go punch for punch with that offense? Because that offense is very similar to the Eagles. They have a bunch of weapons, a couple running backs, a tight end who catches the ball very well. They have a strong offensive line. Now Lindstrom, the first-round pick out of BC, went down. But, again, it's a very similar offense to what the Eagles have because of all the weapons.
All right, John, I need a prediction for tonight. I need the final score so I can write it down and make it official.
31-28. Is it me, or did Carson Wentz look like a great quarterback last week?
He was incredible.
I don't mean the actual statistics. Did he just look like he was like the quarterback on the field?
Yeah, and you saw the third down. The third down numbers were just absolutely off the charts.
Unbelievable.
Incredible.
And that's how they were in the Super Bowl season. They just dominated on third down. So that was a really, really good development in week 1 to get back to that dominance in situational football. I will say this, though. You can't get down 17-0 again. This is not the Washington Redskins.
Exactly right. Right. Matt Ryan?
It's a big tight end game. Both of them scored tonight.
Johnny, you know Matt Ryan, local kid. Obviously, a lot of people know Matt Ryan, and he's a great quarterback, but they're down on him down there in Atlanta. Like we get down on our quarterbacks here when things don't go well, the 28-3 game, so they had a lot of baggage. But, Matt Ryan's a great kid, and I know he so loves his hometown and his friends are all here. What do you think about him tonight? The pressure's on him. There's no doubt about it.
I think Matt Ryan is a great kid. I think there's a little bit of pressure, but he's playing at home. Just so you know, Matt Ryan's father is a local 98 contractor. So we always cheer for Matt Ryan, other than when he's playing the Eagles.
Well, we got to get him to come down here and fix. We got to have him come down here next week and fix the wires so that we don't have any connection problems.
Listen, I could do that. Don't worry. That's Krause cutting costs.
No, but the Matt Ryan, the Ryan lineage got John Lockery, local kid, Penn Charter, Temple, Mike McGlinchey, local kid, Penn Charter, Notre Dame, Sam McCain, Archbishop Wood, played at St. Francis. Their whole family are all great football players, and it's like it's the father is is a lockery, and the rest of them all are sisters. There's like 6 sisters and 1 brother. So
that's great local knowledge right there. That's great local knowledge.
Yeah, they're good people, and they all got local 98 ties, too.
Exactly.
Lockery was a contractor and a superintendent for years, too, and he's a good guy, John.
Yep.
And a good quarterback.
Yeah, John was great. Played at Temple a little bit. Went to Elon. Staying local. Great guy. Great family. Yep, BC.
Followed Flutie, right? Or Flutie followed him, one or the other.
Flutie followed him. He got hurt or sick or one of the above, and Doug Flutie came in and never looked back.
You're not getting this kind of local knowledge anywhere else, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you that right now. I mean, this is because we're all local. We're live, we're local, we're late breaking. We're not guys that came in from out of town and just fell into Philadelphia. We're real, and we're local.
Just think it. Penn Charter, the second best prep school in the region.
What's Archbishop Wood, the best football school in the region, or what? St. Joe's Prep?
My prep. Do the prep. It's the prep. You know that.
Wait a minute. I watched St. Joe Prep the other night get beat down, and Marvin Harrison was up in the stands watching his son play up in Rutgers on Friday night. Did you watch any of that?
It's a shame that game could not have been in Philly. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, you take a look at that. IMG. They got about a 6'10" defensive tackle going to Georgia. He was a beast. Yeah. And that sophomore running back was a monster. They said he's going to Tennessee. They said he should start for Tennessee right now.
They're all handpicked at IMG. I mean, handpicked worldwide. The kids are all. They really are. It's much different. Prep recruits, all the private schools recruit fine, but the IMG Academy is a different world.
Oh yeah,
it's a college, and the kids can go from all over the world to IMG.
Let me tell you, the prep work played them step for step, except for about 4 minutes in that end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter.
Beautiful. Hey, John, good stuff, man. Always great to talk to you. We'll see you next week.
Thank guys for having me.
The great Johnny Doc breaking not just the Eagles down, Matt Ryan down.
Yeah, Matt
Ryan. The Electrical Workers Union.
Local football.
Local football,
and
local electricians.
By the way, we got to give Exton some credit because Matt is from Exton, played at Prep.
Yes.
But Matt Schaub's from Exton, something in the water. Kyle Lauletta.
2 minutes.
Mark
2 minutes.
Mark Herzlich.
Yeah. Something about Exton.
Isn't The Rock from there, too?
The Rock?
He was. He went to high school in Allentown, Bethlehem.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is good breakdown. You got any? Who else do you know? Now you're a prep guy. Now
I'm a Wood guy. I'm a Wood guy. Whoa.
Wait a minute, I'm a Gwinnett Mercy.
He's a prep guy. South Philly right there.
No, I'm a Gwinnett Mercy Academy guy. Okay.
You're up near me.
That's my kid. They're all the Academy
County.
Schools. That's when I was rich and I lived up in the suburbs and my kids played at in the academy, the Catholic Academy League.
I went to Archbishop Wood, Finer Institute of Learning, great football school.
When I was rich, so I can't hit you up after the show. That was
the
whole plan.
I was when I lived up there, but then something went terribly, terribly wrong, as someone once said. Good stuff. Now, what did Robin just give me here? What is that, Robin? Artichoke?
Again, I'm ready to work, and you guys are munching on the great food at Tollman Joe's.
She just brought out artichoke hearts.
Nor did you offer to share.
That have been deep fried, and now they have this cream sauce in them.
You're not going to eat all those potatoes.
No, you can have. Oh, have some potatoes. I'm having artichoke hearts now.
I'm trying to stay lean here, and I got this caramel butter, brown sugar. I'm still trying.
Lots more still ahead. We're going to go to Atlanta in the next hour.
Oh, that's good.
Luigi's going to be out. You want some artichoke hearts, Luigi?
Oh, you. They're all you.
All right, thank you. Plus, I will tell you tonight why Darren Sproles will put himself into the Pro Football Hall of Fame tonight in Atlanta. That's coming up. We're live here at Tollman Joe's in South Philadelphia on a beautiful Sunday night, getting ready for Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Falcons. And also twitch.tv, BrunoNation Live, and on 97.3 ESPN.
Hour number 1 of the Eagles Game Day Countdown to Kickoff show is fueled by Duncan. After the Eagles win, you win with Duncan.
Hunter, did you get the military transfer file?
I did not. I don't see
Okay.
anything popping up.
All right.
Kate May, we're recapping the Eagles and Falcons with Grayson's
Tone, when we come back to kick off, we should have the Godfather coming up next, don't we?
Yeah, so we're going to come in with his song instead of
Hang on a minute. Let me make sure.
The Sports Bash, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.
I don't know what's going on with what was going on with that phone.
South Jersey's
I have no clue. We just hopped right on.
I mean, we went to him 3 times, and he wasn't there.
I know, and then the third time he just popped right in.
Insanely easy to address all your auto-related needs and more. Right at your fingertips, 24/7. Whether you need a ride.
So, Joe.
Yeah, stand by. I'm trying to get the Godfather.
Okay, we're going to come back from break with his song, correct?
Yo, brother, can you jump on for 2-3 minutes right now?
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yeah, you want me to have the station hit you up?
How much you could save.
Credit Karma can help you make financial progress.
Yeah, the station will call you. You'll be on with Tony Bruno. We're coming back in about 2.5 minutes.
Give you the love that only a mother can.
You'll hear your music intro.
But you can use Credit Karma.
Hunter, are you there?
I am here. I'll call him right now.
You have his number?
702-972-9498.
Yep, give him a call. Let him know his music intro's coming in.
But signing up is free. No credit card needed. Just download the Credit Karma app now. Oh, there's my answer. Credit Karma. Here's to progress.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions. Like company pages where you can get people excited about working for you. And we give you this toy monkey, which will bang its cymbals when the right resume appears.
Luigi, can you hear me out there?
Yeah, Joe.
We have a 4-minute break here before the top of the hour, and then we're coming to you at the top of the second hour. Okay.
Delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Visit Indeed.com/promo to try company pages for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Godfather is on hold.
Okay.
O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
Driving cross country with 2 young
Tone,
children
Godfather's
is
on hold. You're going to have the Godfather music. Before you go to him, it's a bang bang, 2.5 minutes with him, all right?
And they tested it. Turned out it was a faulty sensor. They referred us to a great mechanic just down the street, and we were back on the road in no time.
45 seconds.
Take your time, Paul. You're good.
An interesting creature inhabits the flat.
John, you're good. If you want to eat, you're fine.
Dashboard. The bobblehead. It's most agreeable and will nod along to anything, despite having no brain function. But when the bobblehead hears how Geico not only saves people money, but also gives them access
I don't cut
to
costs. I don't know what the
24/7
fuck is going on
online
with the
and
phone. What do you mean?
He'll nod even more vigorously because he knows you should switch.
15.
Yes, switching to Geico
Stand
is a
by.
no-brainer.
Nick, we're back in
Easy,
15.
bobblehead, easy. You're going to get whiplash.
Listening
Can
to
you
the
bring us
Eagles
up?
Game Day
I need the music
Countdown
up.
to Kickoff show. Get to Tolman Joe's and register for
5
your
seconds.
authentic Tony Bruno Eagles game jersey. Presented by Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers.
Get money, yo.
My man, what's up, brother? What you got, Father? Give you a call back in a little bit.
East Coast, Philadelphia, born and raised. In the streets is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. When against my dad's wishes when I dropped out of school. But mom didn't raise no food.
How can I stop when this song's on in the background, man? I'm going to bounce.
You're vibing.
Bounce with me, bounce with me. Live at Tolman Joe's in South Philadelphia. Yo, I used to hang out with a guy named Corn Pop in Wilmington, Delaware.
That sounds
back
pretty
in
shady.
the swimming pools.
That sounds pretty
And
shady.
then the man on the line right now, he knows what I'm talking about. He's Philly. In fact, he is the Philly Godfather, and he joins us right now. How did you do today, Philly Godfather?
Man, I did real well, except for the Vikings. They killed me. I had a larger wager on the Vikings. They outgained the Packers by 86 yards. But Kirk Cousins just with a brain cramp at the end of that drive, and they just couldn't get the cover. But so far, we're 7-3 on the day.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. We had some surprises, you know, with the Cardinals hung in there with Baltimore. Now people are now looking at this Arizona team and say, well, maybe Kyler Murray and this offense isn't that bad after all. That was impressive. And then you had the Lions, who are going to play the Eagles next Sunday here. And they looked impressive, but thankfully the Chargers, as they always do, they come east and then they get discombobulated.
Yeah, and the Colts ended up winning outright. I mean, that was a no-brainer. Tennessee last week blows out the Browns. Then they come home and they're only a 3-point favorite. So sometimes you got to read between the lines, and you got to pick the right side.
Now this game tonight, it hasn't moved much. The Eagles, the last time I just checked, are still 1.5-point favorites. Does that say anything to you?
It's a tough game to go down there and travel down to Mercedes-Benz Stadium and come out with a victory. The line opened up a pick-em. It's up to 1.5, depending on where you shop, whether it's in AC, Vegas, or offshore. The total is what I played. It opened up at 51. It's up to 52.5. I think we got an old-fashioned shootout here. Atlanta last week, they only put up a combined 12 points on the game. But they did they had 4 yards than the Vikings did. They had 76 more yards than the Vikings did. They had 9 more first downs. So they really moved the ball. They just couldn't put points on the board. this week. I think they can score some points. The Eagles' offense last week shook off any rust they had coming into the first game of the season, and they went out and scored 25 points in the second half versus the Redskins. So I'm expecting a shootout here. It's one of those tough games, man. It's a coin flip. It's gun to my head. I would lay the one on the Eagles just because they're the much better team. I think they got a much better quarterback, and I think they got a shot this year to go deep in the playoffs.
And this is one of the two high-priced total games of the weekend. It's 51, 52.5, 53. The only other game that's even close is this Raiders-Chiefs game, which isn't exactly being a lit-up scoreboard right now in that one. Do you expect this to go over the total?
Yeah, I like the over. I like that. You got two high-potent offenses. I think they're going to be on display prime time Sunday night. I think you get some points in this one.
Beautiful. Billy Godfather, ladies and gentlemen, always throwing it down, especially on a Sunday night. We'll talk to you next week, brother.
Good luck, guys.
There he is, the Philly Godfather. There's a certain reverence. There's a certain, have you noticed that, Colin? Have you noticed that, John?
I like the fact that he broke it down and he gave you all the reasons. Because let's be honest, when I pick against the Eagles, it happened again this week, I get a lot of you-know-what on social media.
Yeah, because people, so you have to be objective.
Yes.
You just can't pick the Eagles every week because you're a homer.
It helps that they're a good team, though. I think, and people.
Sure.
I mean, as a local guy, it's got to help you being like, I don't have to be a homer. I actually could pick the Eagles week to week.
Oh,
now Luigi doesn't care about it. He's from here.
No, the Eagles being so good makes it hard to pick against them. That's the problem.
Exactly.
That's the problem. It has nothing to do with being a homer.
They're not going to win 16 games.
No.
So you got to come up with logical losses.
Good answer. Good answer there, Luigi.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good answer.
Tonight is a logical loss.
Correct. Yeah, it is.
See, to me, though, I'm going the other way with it, Tone. Everyone says it's a logical loss. I think the Eagles win. It's one of those things, right? When everyone says, it's a trap, it's this, it's that. And then
it's not a trap. They're playing the Lions on Sunday here.
But
and then they got a
I
short
don't mean
week.
a trap in a way, you're looking ahead. I mean a trap. You're going in.
Yeah.
It's their first home game. Atlanta's supposed to be a good team. You go up to Minnesota. You lay an egg. Minnesota's 0-2 now. You think they're a team that's on the outside looking in now in the NFC North. So, and trap in the sense that Atlanta's going to be hungry, ready to go, and it's their home opener in a dome where Atlanta plays well, and historically, the Eagles have not.
And by the way, the point spread in this game doesn't matter. A point and a half.
To pick them.
It doesn't matter. You just pick the team you think's going to win. Nobody's going to win by well, I guess there could be. You could win by a point and get a.
Well, yeah, but the point spread tells you the gamblers think the Eagles are a better team, but they understand how difficult it is to win on the road in this league. Number one, then against a good team that's coming off a bad performance, that makes it even more difficult.
And a team that struggled out of the gate, the Philadelphia Eagles last week, and the Redskins came out throwing all over them. And the Atlanta Falcons, you would say, have a lot better wide receivers and options to throw the football to than the Redskins do. So to me, you cannot start slow defensively in this game. You cannot afford to.
There's a big difference between Terry McLaurin and Trey Quinn versus Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, and Calvin Ridley. If the Eagles and
Austin Hooper.
And Jim Schwartz talked about this week. He was really disappointed in the coverage. If they play similar coverage against the Falcons, they're in trouble.
I agree. I don't think the point spread matters. This is a pick 'em game, and you pick the team you think's going to win. It's that simple. And it's hard to pick which team's going to win because you don't know what's going to happen, except we do. That's why we will give our picks before we get out of here tonight.
30
seconds.
Jones.
We are live. Collins has copious notes. Colin Thompson with copious notes. John McMullen, he's got a copious phone.
20 seconds.
I got notes. I got food.
It's all up here.
I'm all good, man.
It's all up here.
15.
You got your caramel.
Yeah, I got fries. I got
butter.
everything I need.
10.
And we're going to keep it going
9,
right up until 7 o'clock. Live
7,
here. Toll Man Joe, South
6,
Philadelphia.
5,
Countdown to kickoff.
4, 3.
I'm right back.
2.
When you listen to 97.3 ESPN,
Hunter, make a note for Gil that the pre-recorded audio drops coming back out of the break. There's too many Martin Law, and there's not enough IBEW. IBEW is paying more money than Martin Law. They should be the headline.
To exclusive health and wellness information, and
I just need to switch them up.
A Virtua primary care provider can help you live your healthiest life. That's why it's
Okay,
important
so
to choose
too
a
many
provider
Martin
who will
Law,
listen
and what do
to
you want instead?
and
The
your health
IBEW.
goals. I'm Dr. Jason Bragg, and I invite you to learn more.
I mean,
about
it
the
should be
importance of
it
primary
should
care for your
rotate
life.
every other
Call
one,
888
but
Virtua
we just
3
went back
for
to
a
back
primary
with
care
Martin
location
Laws.
that's convenient for you, or go to virtua.org.
Okay, I wrote it down.
Thank you.
So we're going to come back with the We Ready after the top of the hour liner.
Yep, that's correct.
Joe, I'm set back here.
And then we have Luigi ready to go here.
I'm set back here, Joe.
All right, Luigi's ready to go, and then we also have. What else do I have in that opening block?
Colin Thompson and Luigi.
Okay, good. So we're calling. We're just. This opening segment is just John and Colin on the set. Luigi down at the cornhole.
Okay, cool. Kind of weird.
Where do I have
connection problems with the Godfather?
No, I don't know what was going on with Doc. I don't know if that was his phone, if it was where he was or what. I don't know.
It could have been because we had no problems elsewhere or all day.
Then you'll love Chicky and Pete's.
May have been where he was. I don't know.
An assortment of the
It's
freshest
okay. Minute 30.
Season the Chicky and Pete's
Yeah, I just.
way. And things you can't get anywhere else.
I think it probably
Lobster
sounded
pizza,
like shit
crab
on the air.
nachos, and our famous lobster cheesesteak.
That happens all the time, though. People have connection problems.
The best selection of craft beer.
I know. It doesn't mean I have to like it, brother.
And remember, it's a lot more
I
fun
get it.
than drink. in
Luigi, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
School's back in session, and
About
at
a
AutoZone,
minute
we've
10,
got the free services
guys,
you
a
need
minute
to get
10.
your ride ready. Like our AutoZone Rewards program. You can save more and get exclusive deals, just like this one. Right now, AutoZone Rewards members can get a $10 bonus.
Luigi,
reward
really,
when they buy 5 quarts of Valvoline
really do me a
Advanced
favor.
Super
Hammer the Beer Garden. Hammer Tolman Joe's. Your spot to come before Eagles pre-games.
Free same-day store pickup and free next-day delivery.
As you set the table, all right?
Bonus reward available in store with valid email address. Restrictions apply.
How much time, Hunter?
You're in charge
40
of hiring,
seconds.
and Indeed
40,
has solutions, like company
40.
pages where you can
We'll
get
ask
people
seconds to
excited
the
about
back.
working
Now,
for you.
Steve,
And we give you this
inquiring
toy
minds
monkey,
wanna know
which
why
will
you,
bang its symbols when the right
listening
resume
to the
appears.
Twitch stream are worried about
Okay,
the
there is
Lions
no
making you
monkey.
nervous. In Philly.
there is no monkey.
But company pages, for sure.
The Eagles are already 7-point favorites in that game.
And again, I think Detroit has some pieces.
And they haven't even played their second game. That's the amazing thing about Vegas.
Okay, Nick, here we go.
Conditions apply.
Nature Valley brings that satisfying crunch.
10 seconds
Gets your
until the
family
liner
going
plays.
With real delicious.
Did you pull a new We Ready? It's a different We Ready
So
clip.
get out here.
It's
Nature
just the
Valley,
ones of
oats
the
and honey
kids
crunchy
in the
bars.
locker room.
It's the same one from last week.
It is.
Pull a new one for next week, brother.
Okay, I will.
There's multiple versions out there.
Okay, I definitely will.
WENJHD, Millville, Atlantic City. It's Eagles game day and time for the countdown to kickoff show.
Stand by, everybody.
With Mr. Philadelphia, Tony Bruno.
All right, listen to the crowd. Yeah, they've been waiting to see this.
Live on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Give goes to Peterson. He is stacked up for
Stand by,
From
Luigi.
Tolman Joe's, 26 East Oregon Avenue in the heart of South Philly. Presented by IBEW Local 98. Powered by Martin Law and fueled by the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union.
He is hit. He stumbles. He's down. And the Eagles take over.
Now, it's Eagles game day
Stand
and
by.
time for the countdown to kickoff show with Tony Bruno.
What do you mean we? We or no? Is this a French thing? Hello there, live. Tolman Joe's in South Philly on a Sunday night. You couldn't have designed a better day than this. Now the game's in Atlanta, it's indoors, so that's not going to be a factor. But if you're sitting outside like we are here in South Philly, not that far from the stadium complex, fans are starting to arrive. We got a cornhole tournament going on in the back. Luigi's back there. This hour, we are going to give away an Eagles camouflage jersey, a Carson Wentz that Luigi Curto is modeling way in the back of our beautiful cornhole pit here in the beer garden. But I'm going to call this a multi-purpose facility like the vet used to be. I mean, you can do pretty much anything here. You know what I mean? Actually, the AstroTurf's better than the vets. So, I mean, we got that going for us. Luigi, what's the mood back there? Now, a lot of people are warming up. They're ready for the big prize, not only for that jersey you are wearing, game worn, but for Army-Navy tickets.
That's right, Tone. Back here, the mood is tense, is what it is. You guys have been setting the stage for the Sunday night battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. We're about to do battle here, Tony, in the beautiful beer garden at Toll Man Joe's. We're in the back of the facility right now. The tiki lights are set behind us. We got the sun starting to set here in Philadelphia as well. These guys have been warming up for about an hour, ready to play for 2 tickets, as you said, to the Army-Navy game and this salute to the veterans jersey. Now, all they have to do, Tony, is make 1 bag to move on to the next round. You got 3 shots. 1 bag to the next round.
Can we throw in this too? I want to go to the Army-Navy game.
You absolutely get up there and take a shot.
You're not eligible to win fabulous prizes.
Tony, everyone here at Toll Man Joe's is eligible. Everyone. We discriminate none, even if you work here on this program.
I mean, I would come up there, but I've already played in the American Cornhole Championship in King of Prussia. That would make me a ringer, and that would be a major disadvantage to the folks.
I've been watching the people.
Great point.
We got some great tossers here and some great players as well, Tony.
Oh, exactly.
All right, so why don't we step some people up? Let's get the first round going, Tony.
All right, while you guys do that and you warm up and get you – now, is it a process of elimination? If you miss, you're out?
Tony, it's possible you get 3 shots. All you got to do is make 1. You make 1, you move on to the next round. You don't, you can sit down and have a drink here in the beer garden.
Now, if you make 1, you get at least one of those crappy little prizes that you get at the carnivals.
Just from the bottom.
You need only 1 to get in, only 1 to get in.
The formed basketball or like
exactly, yes.
An Allen Iverson jersey.
Looks like a bad animal cracker.
Yeah, kazoo, something really valuable.
Kazoo.
So Luigi's back there. We're going to get that underway. We're going to give away the prize this hour. Always great prizes, thanks to the great Joe Krause. Speaking of the great Joe, well, he's not here. John McMullen is, though. John, you're getting ready. We're getting closer. Colin Thompson's here, NFL free agent. We got another hour. We're going to go live to Atlanta this hour also, because joining us down there later on this hour is Scott Grayson. He is the Fox 29 local reporter. He is in Atlanta, and we'll get the very latest from him.
And a new father. Scott just had, I think, his 18th kid.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Grayson's grades, right?
Yeah.
Let me give him a roaring round of applause. And how do you know all this inside information in the TV world, then, John?
Scott also works with the radio station. I know him well. I think he had his 4th kid. So
his 4th child?
4th child.
On television, local television money?
Not. I think his wife is a doctor.
Oh, that's good. You got to marry well. You got to marry up.
Got to marry well.
You got to marry well. Meanwhile, we're already talking about this game tonight, and we got more stats. But, you know, it's amazing in Vegas. Not only do we know what the lines are for the remaining games, and then, of course, the Sunday night game and then the Monday night mess tomorrow night, we also already know what they're saying for next Sunday. For example, the Atlanta Falcons haven't even played their second game tonight, and they will go into Indianapolis on Sunday as 2-point underdogs to the Colts. Now, isn't that remarkable when you think of it?
But that does depend what
that'll
happened
move
tonight.
depending.
Of course, it'll move. I mean, that's what the first number is they put up, is that they're underdogs to the Colts. Who, by the way, today, you know, you saw the Colts showed up and they beat the Titans on the road. So, is that lack of respect for Atlanta? I mean, you got underdogs at home against the Eagles and already underdogs on the road before they even play.
I think it's a lack of respect for Indy because they're at home, and you would think, hey, if Andrew Luck is there.
Well, yeah, but he's not.
Yeah, they're 5, 6, 7 point favorites. So they're saying what we just said about the Eagles versus Atlanta. They're saying Atlanta's better than Indianapolis with that number.
But you saw Jacoby Brissett today. Brissett, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
First time he's ever thrown 3 touchdown passes in a game. So maybe this Colt team isn't as bad as people thought they would be without Andrew Luck.
Guys, before Andrew Luck walked away from the game, because backup quarterback is such a big deal in this town, I asked a number of NFL scouts who the best backup quarterback was coming into the season. 3 of the 4 I asked said Jacoby Brissett. This is before Andrew Luck walked away. So there's a lot of people who think he can play, and he's a lot better than the average backup quarterback in this league.
Now we're going to come back and get more reaction to this. But Luigi, I believe you have a finalist already?
We have a final, Tony.
It's a final?
No, it's not a final. We're down to the final 3, Tony. There were 11 participants. 3 have made it. So now we're down to the final 3. I'm here with one of our final 3, Donnie. Donnie's a big Eagles fan. Now, have you ever been to the Army-Navy game?
No, I haven't.
He's never been to the Army-Navy game.
He's got a Malcolm Jenkins on. That's a medium, though. Why does his number look so small on that jersey, the 27 on
Oh, it's been washed. That's game worn as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's got a chance to upgrade to an XL. Carson Wentz, salute to the troops jersey. Now, he went up there, buried the first bag. For the last and final round, Tony, each player, the 3 remaining participants, are going to get 6 shots at this. Most in the hole wins.
Most in the hole.
Most in the hole wins. Now, how do you feel? You feel confident that you're able to take down your opposition? Because the other gentleman over there went right up there, first bag, right in the hole.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. I play this a lot, so.
He says he plays it a lot, Tony. He hangs around a lot of holes.
Well, Philly is the cornhole capital of the world, I believe, isn't it?
Is it?
No, there's a lot more bocce players, I think, than cornhole here in South Philly. But hey, what do I know?
Well, Donnie's here with a bunch of his people, a bunch of his friends and family. They're hanging out in the beer garden. They got about a half hour, 45 minutes to keep warming up, keep loosening up, and getting ready to win the prize.
Beautiful. We're going to keep it here and stay here. Come on out. Beautiful night out. We're going to stick around, watch the game, have some fun, have some more food. What are you going to do, man? You going to hang out and watch a little bit tonight?
I'm going to try. I got family. We got a little watch party back at the house. So maybe I'll do the first half here and first half at home.
Well, we'll see what happens. We still got time. We got 1 hour, and then we'll throw it to Merrill Reese down in Atlanta. Merrill Reese.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Merrill Reese does the official pregame show, then the final hour leading up to it.
He's great.
We're the lead into the lead-in. We're the countdown to kickoff, and then Merrill Reese right here on 93.7 ESPN.
We are the guy behind the guy behind the guy.
I know a guy. I know Merrill. I know Mike Quick. And they're going to say, thank you, Tony. In fact, you heard Merrill and Mike Quick saying how excited they were that I was here doing the countdown to kickoff show. Never mind. Let's get back to the action now.
I'm speechless. I'm not going to. I should.
All right, we were talking before
Just
we
let
went
it
to
go.
Luigi for the single elimination portion of the program. We were talking about the Atlanta Falcons and Jacoby Brissett and how good he looks. And that's the thing. Here we are in this week 2. We've already seen a lot of games today. Obviously, the Patriots did what everybody thought they were going to do. They just put up was a name. This was the
19-point favorites on the road,
and they won 43-0. And it wasn't, and it really shouldn't have been that close because it wasn't. It didn't come. They didn't come right out of the gate and start blowing them out. Miami was hanging for like 10, 15 seconds. You know what I mean? It wasn't like blow them out of the stadium early. They were hanging a little bit. I even saw Eric Rowe, former Eagle great, make a big play in the end zone. Did you see that?
I did not.
It's usually that adjustment period in the heat, right? People go down to Miami. They're playing in Miami today, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, what happened was Belichick and them saw Eric Rowe at some point, too, and decided, now it's time to start throwing the ball that way.
But he made a big stop. He prevented another score. So it would have been 51-0 instead of 43.
Well, Tony, you and I were talking about that game before we came on the air. It's like Alabama versus Furman.
Yeah, it is.
You
exactly.
don't rarely see that in the NFL.
It's a name-your-price game.
Yes.
It's a name-your-score game. And people were saying, I don't know, if it goes to 20, I may not be able to take the Patriots. It didn't matter where it went. They would just basically – and it's going to be really, really ugly in Miami all season long, except that when it gets cold here, it'll still be nice in Miami. That's the one thing they have going for them.
Did the NBA promote
tanking?
To entice other leagues to tank because, hey, it's better to be 0-16, get the first-round pick, trade some players, create some capital.
They've already done that.
Draft. Well, no, or be 6-10. And your stadium's still empty, and you're 6-10 for the next.
Colin, you don't have to tank in the NFL. There are worst to first every year.
No question. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying, did the NBA, in your opinion,
oh, no question,
create this?
I don't agree with it. In the NBA, you can make an argument.
And there's less players too. It's
you
much
have
different.
to do that in the NBA. A lot of people will make that argument. It's legitimate. In the
Star-driven
NFL,
league.
look at the Chicago Bears last year. They were worst to first. I think they won 4 games to 12 games in 1 year.
Great roster, too.
Yeah.
Fantastic roster. One of the best in the NFL.
If you make the
Coach
right
of the year.
decisions in a few key spots, and in Chicago, let's be honest, they don't even have a quarterback, and they still won 12 games.
Well, getting John Gruden to trade you Khalil Mack certainly helps a lot, too.
Well, that helps.
Did.
But that's what
2 minutes.
I was there the day he signed. I woke up in the morning
Unreal.
at Chicago Bear. I was in the hotel room right next to the facility. I screenshot it. I sent it to the tight ends. I said, wow, guys, look at this. 30 minutes later, I was cut. And I was like, wow, guys. Look at this.
Well, look at the bright side. You didn't have to block Khalil Mack.
It is to the bright side.
Exactly.
I would have been off the practice squad in a minute. Bring the next guy in.
One other thing to look at tonight, and I mentioned this earlier, is Darren Sproles. Is he a Hall of Famer? I think he is, because you know what? He is 54 yards away from cracking the top 5 in NFL history with the most all-purpose yards. 54 away. He now has 19,629. He's sitting in 6th place. He's definitely going to go into 5th place. It may not be tonight, but it's certainly going to happen this year. Does that not absolutely guarantee you a spot in the Hall of Fame when you're that versatile of a player?
No, I mean, you just have to look at the history of the Hall of Fame. How many kick returners are in the Hall of Fame? How many punt returners? It's really, really difficult. There's only 2 kickers in the Hall of Fame. Ray Guy, how long did it take Ray Guy to get in the Hall of Fame?
And I don't think it's not over for Darren, whether he breaks the record or not. How does the rest of his career pan out? Is he healthy to go another year? Does he make it through this year? Do the Eagles make a certain kind of run and Darren's a big piece of it? I think that does play into more so than the number's great, but how do the Eagles finish this year, and was he a part of it?
We got to come back. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Luigi's out there. We're getting close to the Cornhole Championship Tournament here. We're also going to order more food. I know you all care about that at home. No, we'll wait till after the show. We'll get you ready. Countdown to kickoff continues here in South Philadelphia. Toll Man Joe's on 97.3 ESPN.
Hour number 2 of the Eagles Game Day Countdown to Kickoff show is sponsored by the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union. Philly's home is our home. Go to pfcu.com.
Hey, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Is Gil this break or the break after?
I have Gil scheduled for this break, and then I have Grayson scheduled for next, and then we got to do Luigi after Grayson. So, okay. See if Gil's available to do it now.
Now's the time to travel and be with the people you care about the most. And at Holiday Inn and Holiday Inn Express, we're helping you be there for less. Save at least 25% at thousands of hotels worldwide if you book by September 24th. You won't want this moment to pass you by. So book today at holidayinn.com. Terms and conditions apply.
School's back in session, and at AutoZone, we've got the free services you need to get your ride ready. Like our AutoZone Rewards program. You can save more and get exclusive deals, just like this one. Right now, AutoZone Rewards members can get a $10 bonus reward when they buy 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic Motor Oil and an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $33.99. Visit us at AutoZone.com and start the job fast with free same-day store pickup and free next day.
Yeah, that was good. Yep.
AutoZone.com/rewards.
We got 2 segments, and then come to you, and we'll finish it up. All right.
The seafood extraordinary. The
What happened?
Tremendous. The sunsets on the house.
Tell them they'll bring it back.
Features delicious seafood steaks and tropical summer cocktails indoors or
How about
on
that
a
game? It's only
waterfront deck.
6-3.
Enjoy lunch
How
or
much
dinner
time
with
there, Hunter, till we're back?
Menu.
A minute and 30, Joe.
Home to all-you-can-eat crabs, including snow crab and
his own
Maryland
player
balloons.
tripped him up.
Next door to Yuri's is the Boathouse Restaurant. 2 outstanding restaurants.
We have Gil on
one
hold.
Big location.
Do
at
we
the
know
foot
what
of the
happened to
bridge
Drew
in Almond.
Brees? I know Mike
Experience
Gill's
with
on
the
hold.
Jersey Shore.
Shout out to Billy. Shout out to Billy Schweim, who's enjoying the show here tonight. He does the locker room on 97.3. Stop by to hear the show.
I'm going to come back to a Jay Ajayi touchdown against the Falcons. and
Jay
then to
Ajayi. I used to give away great Jay Ajayi jerseys. I love it.
Jay Ajayi has scored? I didn't even know he was still in the league.
No, that's the yeah, right. All right. I'll take a Jay Ajayi jersey or play.
Is he in the
And
league,
is Gil coming back?
Nobody
Gil
picked
is
up
on
Jay
hold,
Ajayi, did
All
they?
right. Tony, you do have Gil, all right?
If you have unlimited data on a
Mike Gill,
network
the
you can't
host of
trust,
the
your data is limited.
What's the daily
and so
show
are you.
called? The Mike
Set
Gill
your
show?
smartphone free with the
Sports
new
Bash.
It's got a
unlimited
name,
plans from
right?
Total Wireless.
Sports
Get
Bash.
4 lines with
Sports Bash,
unlimited
that's
data
right.
Mike
on
Gill, the
nation's
Sports
best
Bash.
4G
Billy
LTE
Schweim in the
network
locker
with
room.
100 gigabytes at high speed
Sports
than
Bash
2G,
with Mike
which is
Gill.
25
20 seconds,
a
by the
month
way.
per line.
Nick, 40 seconds. Bring us up.
20.
20 seconds. Bring us
Total
up.
Wireless, total confidence. Available at authorized dealers. See terms and conditions
10
at
seconds.
totalwireless.com.
Stand by. We've got an audio play.
Day Countdown to Kickoff show. Get to Tolman Joe's and register for your authentic Tony Bruno Eagles game jersey. Presented by Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers.
Second down and 7.
Takes the clock all the way down. Hands the ball off. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Jay Ajayi.
It's like New Year's Eve, waiting for Ryan Seacrest to stop annoying me and have the ball start dropping on New Year's Eve. You know what I'm saying?
I'm more of a Dick Clark guy.
I am too, but he's no longer with us. They should just bring back Dick Clark in a hologram and have him Dick Clark every year.
I don't want to give Ryan Seacrest credit for anything.
No, Ryan's a good guy. I know.
Oh,
work with him.
I apologize.
No, you don't have to apologize. Nobody apologizes. The guy's making $1 gazillion doing 50,000 TV shows.
Everyone's working with him, Tony. He's got more jobs than you do.
Well, I don't have any jobs. I got one. This is it. I do one thing and one thing alone. By the way, a touchdown. The Kansas City Chiefs have just scored, and now they're up 27-10. And Pat Mahomes, 4 touchdowns in this game for the Chiefs. Remember, the Raiders jumped out 10-0 in this game. We'll keep an eye on that one. Another low-scoring game. Rams only lead 6-3 over the Saints in the third quarter of that game. And, of course, Drew Brees out of that game so far. Meanwhile, let's bring in a man to help us break it down. Because there's so many pieces of the pie that need to be sliced and dissected before we can consume it. Billy Schweim is here, the man, of course, the sports bash. Well, that's Mike Gill.
No, that's Mike Gill.
The locker room
The locker
guy.
room.
Billy Schweim in the locker room. There he is. Yeah. He said he told his wife he had to go out and get some provisions.
Yeah, he does.
I believe it's an underused term.
A couple beverages.
You know, you don't say I got to go out and have a couple pops with the boys. I got to go get provisions. That's what Mike Gill probably says back on the Sports Bash every single day on 97.3 in the afternoons. Mike, how are you tonight, man?
Having a great night, Tony. Although the anticipation for this game, man, we got the second week Sunday nighter. It's too much. Give me the early game on a week 2. You know.
No, we needed time to marinate on this. And, you know, we have a lot of people. Luckily, it's not here because people would have been marinating from 7 a.m. Imagine if this was here tonight and you had the parking lots open at 7 a.m. and then 13 hours later, there's kickoff.
A lot of provisions.
A lot of provisions for that, yeah.
And then Saturday's a whole day of provisions of gathering as well.
Exactly.
Which you did have 11,000 at the Phillies game today, so there might be a couple people a little lubricated early.
Yeah. Well, they got lubricated very early.
Just make sure the Sixers are safe.
Yeah, the Sixers
All
are safe.
the Sixers are safe.
All right, Mike, we've been breaking this down to levels beyond human comprehension. You know, it's one of those games, it's a toss-up game. I don't think the point spread's going to matter if you're looking at it that way, but to me, whatever team's going to win is going to win by more than 3 points, I think.
Well, the big one here, I think we've kind of looked at this. The last 3 times they've played it's all been in Philly, and all the games have been ugly and close for the most part. You had 18-12, 15-10. Now this game goes to Atlanta. Is that just the difference? Is Philly just better when they're in their building, and Atlanta might be better when it's in their building? I think that's something that we'll find out tonight. These two teams so evenly matched that the home field advantage has been a little tilt to the Eagles. Now, the one thing, I mean, the Falcons' offensive line is dreadful. They got 4 sacks last week. Ryan was pressured, and if he gets pressured, I think the Eagles, should be all right, but they couldn't get to Keenum last week, until the second half, but they didn't really sack him. But Matt Ryan and his weapons, a lot different weapons than Washington has.
Talking with Mike Gill, hanging out here at Toll Man Joe's. John McMullen here. We've been breaking it all down whether Darren Sproles belongs in the Hall of Fame, whether the Eagles obviously need to stop the slow start stuff that's been going on. I mean, they've just been horrible in the first quarter. Last week as well, and all of last year. They just couldn't do anything in the first quarter of games.
Yeah, I've heard you talking about Sproles. He's interesting. They gave him the ball, 16 times last week, and John has kind of mentioned it. You got Howard here. You brought him in to kind of be that guy. You figure, hey, let's just wear this guy out. Let's do what the Cowboys do, run the guy into the ground. But Sproles is a weapon that Peterson just loves to use. And, if he has a big year this year and they end up winning a Super Bowl with all the yards he put up and then the Super Bowl, he's been a part of a couple teams that have won Super Bowls, he would be a very interesting conversation because he's never been the star player or the lead back on a team. So I think 5 years down the road, if this is it for him, that would be a very I don't know, very intriguing conversation about he would be a very unique guy to be in the Hall of Fame.
I think he's a lock. I mean, he revolutionized the position. He didn't just come in as a running back or a guy who caught the ball on third down or a punt returner. I mean, we were talking about kickers and how long it took Ray Guy to finally get in. I think he's one of those. He's a special category of player. He's not a running back. He's not a kick returner.
Well, and I think that hurts him, Tony.
You think that hurts him?
I mean, Paul Domovich is our Hall of Fame voter in Philadelphia. I get to talk to him all the time. I know how those voters think, and that's why I brought up the kickers. And it took Jan Stenerud so long.
Yep.
Morton Anderson, Ray Guy, as you mentioned. They do not put special teams players in the Hall of Fame. Steve Tasker, a lot of people have argued for him. It's not going to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't necessarily agree with it, but just the way they do things, I think it's going to be really difficult for Darren Sproles to get in the Hall of Fame.
2 rings don't hurt either, though. That's the one extra little spice that you put in there. He's got 2 Super Bowl rings.
Well, that helps.
That doesn't hurt, yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird, because he's never been the lead back on a team. Like, he wasn't drafted high. He didn't have a high profile. He was never the guy. He was never a 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard receiver. I mean, he didn't have that year where he was kind of the guy that would get him national acclaim. Here, regionally, we probably have a better appreciation, and maybe the people in New Orleans. But I don't know if across the country people understand how important and how unique that he has kind of been in his career.
Gil, you mentioned the offensive line earlier and the struggles they had up front. Last week, the big 4 for Minnesota, Hunter, Joseph Barr, Griffin, they got after the passer. They did, and they all sacked Matt Ryan. Is there a matchup other than the Eagles' defensive line and Barnett, Cox, Jernigan, who had a sack last week, and Graham? Is there a matchup that you think we should keep an eye on other than the offense versus the defensive line of the Eagles?
Well, number one, Lindstrom, who they drafted in the first round at guard, he's out. Jamon Brown is in. So there's a spot up in the interior line. But I would think in the secondary, the spot is going to be Julio Jones and tackling him. The Eagles are going to try to let them catch the ball in front. That's what they've done the last 2 times they've played. Jones will get 10 catches, but they're all underneath. In 2017, I think it's so under-talked about at how well that Super Bowl team tackled. They seemed to tackle you. And the 2 games where they lost up in Seattle and the game they gave up 38 points against the Rams, they did not tackle well in those 2 games. And, that 17 team was such a good tackling team. Last year, when they were struggling early in the season, that team could not tackle a lick. So if they allow Jones to catch the ball in front, and Ridley's very good, Sanu's very good, and the kid Hooper had, I think, 8 or 9 catches last week because they had to get the ball out so fast because of the pressure, but he's a weapon too. If the Eagles tackle them in front tonight, they'll win the game.
Yeah, Hooper went 9 for 77. Ridley went 4 for 64 and a touchdown. He's averaging 16 per. Hardy, 4 for 41, the ECU kid. Jones, ECU, 6 for 31 and a TD. And then Freeman out of the backfield, he can catch too. They're very similarly built, in my opinion, to the Eagles. They have a lot of weapons. They spread it out. And with Matt Ryan, who's a veteran, who's got the arm to make really all the throws, I think it's going to be a shootout today, and I think it's going to be – hopefully the Eagles can go punch for punch with them.
This might be the toughest game. I know we're only in the second week, but this may be one of those toss-up games. I mean, it's like there's no one decided advantage. You look at the home team and give them the 3 points that normally you're given, but the Eagles are favored. This is really hard because
they're very evenly matched.
We can all sit here and make our predictions, but does anybody really know what's going to happen tonight?
No, I think it's
but you know what? We don't know what's going to happen, but I will say this. I think the Eagles are by far, and John and Colin, you could probably expand on, they're by far the better coach team here. I think Peterson, if the 2 teams are equal, you put the check mark towards the coaching staff, and I think the Eagles have been better prepared the last 2 times these teams have played. So I don't know how much that factors in terms of swaying the score one way or the other. But it's why I like the Eagles tonight. I think they're a little bit better personnel-wise, and I think they're better coached.
I just think they've had so much turnover on that staff. I'm a Dan Quinn fan because of a personal relationship. He recruited me at University of Florida, and I do think he's a great man, and I do think he's a great coach. But there's been so much turnover there with the assistants. Like you said, it caused a little concern with the coaching staff. There's been stability with the coaching staff with the Eagles, right? There's been the only coach who left is Frank Wright, and he went to the Colts and he looks like the savior in Indianapolis. So
2 minutes.
Go ahead, Mike.
On his fourth defensive coordinator down there, and he's the guy who's the coordinator.
He's really the
DC.
DC.
Exactly. But he's trying to put a lot of the defensive issues they've had down there. They've had injuries. It's a smaller defense.
Yeah.
But does that still work today? That smaller defense? I don't know. I mean, at what point do you turn around and say, hey, the guy at the top needs to be the guy being questioned here instead of blowing out all these coordinators?
Well, you guys mentioned Frank Reich. When you go to the Super Bowl, that's what happens. The Falcons went to the Super Bowl. They lost Kyle Shanahan on the offensive side of the ball, took a big step back with Steve Sarkisian. Now they've moved on and back to Dirk Cutter. You figure it's going to be a little bit better, but it's probably not going to be Kyle Shanahan good. So that's just part of it. When you have success in this league, you lose assistant coaches.
Mike Gill, do you have a final score? I know this is silly, but we have to do it because we're contractually obligated to do so. Who do you like? What's the pick?
31-26, Philadelphia. Better coached. 31-26.
Better ingredients, better coaching. Doug
Eagles.
Peterson. And Mike, thanks
Howie
a lot.
Roseman.
Yes. Well, Mike, always great to talk to you.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
guys.
popping on. There he is, the great.
See you, Mike.
Mike
guys,
Gill.
take care.
We're coming back. We're going to go to Atlanta when we come back, too, for a live report pregame right here, 97.3 ESPN.
You're listening to the Eagles Game Day Countdown to
see
Kickoff
what
show
Mahomes
presented
did?
by IBEW Local 98. John Doherty, business manager.
Coming up on the next edition
Hunter.
of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
We're live from the Barefoot Beach Bar in Cape May.
Hunter, you there?
Recap of the Eagles and Falcons with Grayson's Grades at 2:30.
Yeah, hold on, Jeff.
Football at 4, and Casey Joyner with reaction to Week 2 at 5:15. Plus 2 more chances to win $5,000 at 3:10 and 5:10.
The Sports Bash, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's sports leader.
When you listen to 97.3 ESPN FM, you're
What's up,
tuning
Joe?
in
I was just
living a
talking to
healthier
Gil.
lifestyle.
Yeah, just watch
Town
when
Square
you're
Media and
when
Virtual
you're
Health
saying
are united
goodbye to
on
him and
mission
we're
for
still
healthier,
hot.
happier New Jersey.
We're hearing you
Listen to
in the air
97.3
in the headset. That's why Tony paused there.
Okay, so when people call, should I not say anything and just let the music out?
Well, just when they're saying goodbye, if we're still on, just you could even leave them on hold to say goodbye. But when you're saying see you later, you're coming through Tony's headset.
Okay.
So that's why that's why he paused, because he heard you. You were talking to Gil. He thought that you were talking to him.
Yeah, I understand completely. That's on me.
Near you.
So no worries, just a heads up for it. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. I never even thought about that.
Set out on a mission to make
I will call Scott Grayson right now.
So close.
Kerrigan, I was
so
going to
you
talk
can
about
live
that.
better.
Kerrigan didn't do much.
This is
He had 1 assist to the tackle last week. He was
At the
silent.
Home Depot, we appreciate pros. That's why
I don't
we
know.
created
He's,
Pro
I don't
Extra,
think so. I mean,
built just for
you
pros
don't drop
with
like that.
exclusive benefits
You don't go
like
from here to
volume
there. You
pricing,
slow down.
purchase tracking, and paint rewards. Plus, now pros can save even more
Tone, out
time
of
with
the
the new
break
Pro
to
Experience
Grayson
on the
in
Home
Atlanta,
Depot app.
right?
Find products fast in
We got
store,
Grayson and
access
Merle.
special member savings, and use the new
We got
Pro
Scott
Extra
Grayson.
virtual
You say
ID
Merle?
at
Scott
checkout.
Grayson is in
All from
Atlanta.
the
We're going to
convenience
him
of your
next.
phone. Become a Pro Extra
Did you
member
say Merle
today
Reese?
and receive
Grades,
$20 off your
97
next
grades,
in-store
box
purchase.
29.
Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, you wouldn't spend more to get the
Lot of
exact same thing,
content,
would
lot
you?
of content.
Not a catch.
So when I tell you that Straight Talk Wireless
1
runs on
minute.
the same
Scott
cell
did not
towers
answer.
as the big guys, but
Hell of an
charges
effort,
up to
but too
half
much
the
movement.
cost,
We're coming back with the
you see
Eagles
where I'm
fight
going.
song, by the way.
Right. Get America's best 4G LTE networks for less. The unlimited plan is just
Depends what
$45
they call
a
it on the
month with
field.
25 gigs at high speeds, then 2G. Straight Talk Wireless, everything for less.
Savings may vary. See straighttalk.com.
Protect your
How'd
engine
you like
with
LA?
5 parts of Castrol Edge full synthetic motor
Yeah.
oil and a Wix filter for just $33.99. Plus, get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate. You can also earn bonus O Rewards points on Castrol Edge motor oil.
Hunter, how much time, brother?
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
20 seconds, and Scott is on hold.
What's coming out? Just music?
We have the Eagles fight song.
I'm a big fan of his.
Tone, 20 seconds out with the Eagles fight song down to Grayson,
Listening
okay?
to
He's
the
on
Eagles
hold.
Game Day
Here we go.
Countdown to
Stand by,
Kickoff
everybody.
show. Get to Tolman Joe's and register for your authentic
fight.
Tony
Here we
Bruno
go.
Eagles game jersey. Presented by Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers.
1, 2, 3. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles.
The enthusiasm. Are you bringing the heat juice today, or I need to bring it for you, Tony?
I got an hour and a half to kick off, and actually I got almost 2 hours to kick off. I got to pace myself here. I'm not one of these amateurs in the parking lot at tailgates looking for people to beat up because they've had too many cocktails.
Has the good food at Toll Man Joe's bogged you down?
No, not yet. Wait till after the show.
Feed her
then
up.
I'll be bogged down. Then I'll get my feed bag on. I'll be ready, man. I'm always ready. When the whistle blows, I'm ready to go, man. Speaking of ready to go, a guy who's a brand new dad, I'm learning from my sources here, deep inside the paternity update desk here with John McMullen. Scott Grayson, you see him on Fox 29. You hear him on 97.3 ESPN. Scott, congratulations, man. New dad. How many kids?
Thank you. Yeah, this is 4. This is number 4.
How many?
So, number 4. I got 4. I got a set of twins mixed in there too. So I'm trying to check all the boxes.
Beautiful, man. Congratulations. Now, did you bring the youngster down to Atlanta to enjoy his first taste of the deep, dirty South?
That's awful quick.
Yeah,
no, she's less than a week old, but I'm told that my other kids have already got her dressed up in her Eagles onesie, ready for the game.
You got to take her to the tailgate against the Lions next week to really give her an early taste of what it's like to be in the parking lot.
She'll be in her first fight. Look at it that way, Dad.
Or, you know what? Bring her here. Bring her to Toll Man Joe's.
Yeah, exactly. We'll bring her to Toll Man Joe's.
Hang out.
We'll get it. We'll get the food. Oh, well, no, she's too young to start even having any kind of like liquid food.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. You can't grind up corn and peas and carrot. All right, Scott, what's the mood down there? Because I know there's a ton of Eagles fans. I'm hearing like 12,000 in the building tonight, right?
Yeah, I mean, I flew down here today, saw plenty of them in the airport, walking over to the stadium and coming down here from the airport. I saw plenty of them out there. There's already some in the stand. So, look, this fan base has traveled, as you guys know, very well the last few years. They've taken over some stadiums. This one would be a little harder to take over with the fan base here in Atlanta, but I think you'll hear them tonight. I think they'll definitely have a presence. And, look, the team feeds off that.
Scott Grayson. Now, John McMullen's here, and he normally John does the injury report now. Now, are you able to get any late minute? How do the guys look? Are they stretching well? Everybody looking loose?
Are they stretching well? Keep an eye on Fletcher, by the way. Because Fletcher's toe is kind of an issue for me, Scott. He only played, I think, 66% of the snaps last week. He typically plays near 80. Obviously, he didn't do anything in training camp, didn't practice. So when Fletcher comes out, keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I will do that. He's not out here yet. The first guy out here was Miles Sanders, which apparently is his work ethic. He gets out here early. I see, other guys like Carson and Zach are out here, but I'll keep an eye out on Fletcher for you.
Beautiful. Now, of course, a lot of talk about Matt Ryan and, Philly guy. And I don't think does that matter? That Matt Ryan's a Philly guy to the people in Atlanta who aren't, don't really care like we do where he went to school. And I mean, all they care about, as I've been saying, is 28-3. That's something they're going to have to shake, unfortunately, just like this fan base has had to shake off horrible, horrible losses. Donovan McNabb throwing up against the Patriots. You think though, and again, that's unfortunate. I'm not poking fun at them, but is that something that you sense there? Because friends of mine in Atlanta all say the same thing. That's one of those losses, even though it's 2 years removed, it's still one of those things that's impossible to shake, and the fans always remember that.
Yeah, they will. I mean, you're only as good as what your last impression truly is for people. And when you talk about legacies, look, Matt Ryan's starting to get up there in age. I believe 34, 35 years old. So, sure, if he can play like Tom Brady, he's still got plenty of years ahead of him. But the window's, starting to close. And so, yeah, he's got to shake that image. I think that the people down here don't think of him as a Philly guy. I think of him, they think of him as an Atlanta guy. He's theirs. But certainly they want to see him take them to that place where they win and hoist that Lombardi trophy. And that one game, and the Eagles get in the way repeatedly. The Eagles and Doug Peterson have really done well against the Falcons in the past. And look, but you're right though, Tony. I think that's something that Matt Ryan's going to have to shake at some point. Look, tonight would be a great opportunity if they can put on a show. And the way that the Redskins threw the ball against the Eagles secondary, perhaps Ryan could have a big game tonight.
Scott, you talked about last impression in 28-3. We all know about the comeback the Patriots made in the Super Bowl over Atlanta. Last impressions with the Redskins, the Eagles won 32-27. What are your thoughts on that game? What do you see carrying over to this game, and who stood out to you in the opener for the Eagles last week?
Well, obviously, Deshaun Jackson stood out. I think what really, the more I let the game, kind of percolate throughout the week in my mind, what really impressed me was the way the Eagles controlled third down. I mean, their stats on third down were just outstanding. And as the game moved on, that's really the way that they were able to take control of that game. The defense, of course, started playing better and kept the Redskins in check. But I think if the Eagles can be anywhere close to that on third down tonight, that's really the impressive stat for me. What Carson did on third down last week and what the team did offensively in those situations, they got to start faster. I mean, these 0 points in the first quarter are just, you can't keep going to the well, having to come from behind. And those are the things I think you got to watch for in this game. But look, what Deshaun Jackson did last week, I'll be curious to see how the Eagles play off that. Will they try to take the top off the defense again, or just the fear of having that now, which the Eagles obviously haven't had, if that'll just open up some more things underneath and perhaps help the running game too?
Last week on third down, note for the people listening, Carson Wentz, 12 for 13, 197 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a perfect passer rating. If you start off like that and talk about starting fast, coming out, what do you think some of the things that Doug Peterson are going to do to put Carson in this offense in an advantageous situation? Again, he has put a precedent on starting fast, and they haven't yet. Again, it's only one game. But what do you think Doug is going to do? Dial up, maybe a little healthy dose of Darren Sproles again. What are some of your thoughts on how the Eagles start the game?
Well, what you said last is really the last thing I would expect. I mean, I didn't expect it last week. I don't think anybody did, the amount of touches that Darren Sproles had. But if they continue to go to him like that week after week, you're really running the risk of potentially not having him come playoff time. I mean, he's getting older. He's fragile. I think you got to pick your spots and matchups and where you use him. I'd be shocked if he got more than 4 or 5 offensive touches tonight. But in terms of everything else that you could look at from this team, I think that the way that you try to get this going is you got to work over the middle more. They didn't involve Ertz and Goddard too much early on in the game, and I think that's maybe where you start building. You want to build a running game too and then take shots outside. But I think the Eagles really need to just try to move the ball down the field by getting first downs, obviously. I don't think you need to try to take the top off this team until it's there and let Carson get comfortable in the game. But, look, in 2017, they were very good at getting out the quick starts. Last year, obviously it's well documented, 31st in the league in the first quarter points. This year, still a 0. They've got to score some first quarter points, like I said before. And I think that let's see what Doug dials up this time. I know some people want to say, look, the penalty Deshaun Jackson took last week really took them right out of what they were doing on their first drive. But they've got to be able to overcome that stuff and not make those stupid mistakes as well.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that. That's the bottom line. And, we used to talk about Andy Reid scripting the first 15 plays, and most of the time that first 15-play drive would always work, and then they would have to improvise and things got bad. It's the exact opposite now with Doug Peterson. The scripted plays early in the game haven't been working, and then they make adjustments and it finally works. So hopefully that changes. You're absolutely right, and looking forward to a good game. Scott Grayson, Fox 29, and of course on 97.3 ESPN. Appreciate you popping in tonight. Thanks, Scott.
All right, thanks, guys.
There you have it. I'm starting to get a little excited now. I'm starting to feel a little bit. The loins are starting to gird a little bit. Did the loins gird?
I don't think loins gird.
What do loins do? Let's go out to a man whose loins are girding. Way back. Luigi with the cornhole update, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, speaking of cornhole and loins, mine are tender right now, Tony. But we got our 3 final participants here, Tony. The contestants are ready. We have Mel, Ron, and Donnie, who we spoke to earlier.
Now, Ron has no shoes on, so he's already dancing. Is that Ron?
He is ready for cornhole,
Look
Tony.
at him, man. He's dancing. He's dancing. Now,
That's
Robert, do you have a
Philly
camera
trot.
out there on our cornhole championship? People want to see this now. This is like a pre-game show.
Yes.
People
Remember
don't...
Bozo the Clown, Tony? You had to throw the ball in the bucket?
Yeah.
This is like that.
So now what's the rules for this big finale here to win the Eagles camouflage salute to the Patriots jersey and to the troops and Army-Navy tickets, sold out Army-Navy game tickets?
Tony, each player has 6 shots. Most shots in the hole win.
And there's 2 finalists.
Got 3 finalists, Tony.
3 finalists, all right. So we got 3? How many?
3.
No, I hear 3. That's it, 3. I hear 3. 3 it is. Let's get this baby underway.
You guys ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, go. We got 1 hole. Donnie, oh, so close. Ron's rimming out. Nell is coming up a little short here. Only one bag in the hole thus far, Tony. Ron holding a commanding 1-0 lead to almost 2. Donnie can't get it done. Nell, she's out. Donnie, nope. Ron, last bag. He's going to wait. He's going to hold it. Donnie,
he knocked it in.
Can Ron make it to win it? No, we go to sudden death, Tony.
We have a tie, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to throw it back to you. I'm going to have sudden death over here, and when we come back, I'll have a champion for you.
Oh, man, does it get any better than sudden death? This is better than a shootout in hockey.
There's no more sudden death in the NFL, but I think we're talking overtime now.
We're talking overtime. No, this is sudden death. This is the next bag in wins.
That's it, Tony.
I think this is a sign. Eagles, Falcons, we're going to get extra football tonight.
Oh, we're going to get extra football? It's all right. I don't have to wake up till 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's fine with me. I don't know about the rest of the people who will be having to go to work. Are we going to take a break? We're going to keep it right here.
I'm ready to go, Tony.
All right, so we're ready for the big finale here, right? Let's keep it right here, as they say on TV. Keep it right here. This is now the last throw-off. This is overtime. So what are the rules in overtime? Have both teams been told what the rules are?
Sudden death.
Is it first bag in wins, or does the other person get a chance?
Donnie's going to throw first. If he makes the bag, Ron's got a chance to match it. If he doesn't match it, it's over.
Okay, then it is a true sudden death.
That's it. All right, Donnie, after you.
Noonan.
Way off.
Oh, Noonan.
Ron tried to corner and missed. Donnie.
Bag is up.
Oh, just off the board. Ron, dead ahead. Oh, just missed it.
Another one.
Donnie
it's in the hole.
Now,
It's in the hole.
Ron has a chance to tie.
All right, Ron, go ahead. There's a hush over the crowd.
The sun sets in
Can we
South
go
Philadelphia.
double overtime?
Ron bends down. For what reason?
He's got his hands to the air like he just doesn't care.
Where's Jim Nantz when you need him?
Exactly. Here it is.
And it's over as the final.
It is over, ladies and gentlemen. We have a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, hold all tickets until they've been validated. Do not crash them until we know that it is officially a win from Malcolm Jenkins. Actually, it's a guy named wearing a Malcolm Jenkins
Tony,
jersey.
I'm here with the winner. I'm here with Donnie. Donnie, how does it feel? Feels real good, real good. Now, you got 37 people here with you. You know you only have 2 tickets to this Army-Navy game. So how are you going to decide who goes to the game with you?
I'm going to give it to my grandpa. He was in the Navy, so it was a good win.
Oh,
that's a great win right there.
Let me give him a roaring round of applause.
He's keeping the jersey for himself, though, Tony. He's keeping the jersey for himself.
That's fine. That's wonderful.
That's class.
Nothing but the finest here at Tollman Joe's.
See how great our people are?
Cornhole tournament.
Tony, you know what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
I'm going to find his grandfather another military jersey. By the time he goes to the game, I'll find him.
Wow, man, how about that?
Joe
man?
Kraus.
Joe Kraus, ladies and gentlemen.
The best.
That's
You're
good
going to make
stuff.
me cry tonight. You're going to make me cry.
I almost cried when he took my crab cake sandwich away earlier.
Isn't that every night when you cry at about this time?
Yeah, usually, yeah. But that's what happens when you get older. You know what I mean?
You know who else is crying? Whoever took the over in this Saints-Rams game. They're crying right now, too.
Yeah, it's 13-6. Rams up, 5 minutes left in the third quarter. The Bears still lead the Broncos 13-3. They're into the fourth quarter now. And the Chiefs just laying a beat down. Pat Mahomes, 4 touchdown passes in the second quarter alone. 4 touchdown passes in the second quarter for Mahomes.
And they're on that old track.
Yes,
that old track.
I wonder how many were on the dirt. We're coming right back. We're live. Tollman Joe's, South Philly. The crowd's starting to build. Sunday night football. It's getting closer, baby. It's getting closer on 97.3 FM, ESPN.
Hour number 2 of the Eagles Game Day Countdown to Kickoff show is sponsored by the Philadelphia Federal Credit Union. Philly's home is our home. Go to PFCU.com.
How much time till we're back, and then how much time?
This is Mays and Eighton.
We have 3 minutes, and then we have about 7 on air.
97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN.
No, there's a ton of people inside. People are saying it looks empty. It's empty out here because there's a band inside, and there's a ton of people in there watching the games and listening to music. So
got our own
react
DJ out
to,
here,
and
too.
also
They're gonna come out
outside
here
of
and
the
watch the
Eagles,
game with us,
all
too.
the other NFL stuff.
Noon to 2 on Monday, 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN app.
Bar looks empty.
Whoa. You saying inside there?
Andrew Christian
No,
here.
out here.
Your South Jersey gas
No,
sales
somebody said it looks
representative
empty
for
because
Gloucester
everybody's
County.
Inside the
Most
bar, there
folks
was a
know
huge
that
contingent
safe,
that was going
reliable,
to the
affordable
ZZ
natural
Top
gas
Con.
can help save
Tonight?
energy
Yes.
and money.
What time?
But
At
did
like
you know
7:30.
that natural
Over the
gas
Eagles
doesn't
game?
rely on
They're all-
tanks
well,
or
the
delivery?
ZZ Top's
It's
here,
always
so
there
they're
when
going
you
to the
need
ZZ
it.
Top
Like
Conference
your
instead.
friendly South Jersey gas
Drew
sales
Brees
team.
back.
Hunter, how
Let's
much
get the
time?
conversation
Thank you, brother.
started. And give us a call.
They showed him on the sideline trying to grip a football. He couldn't even grab the ball.
9276.
It's on his throwing hand. He tried to grab the football. He can't grip the football
He'll
at
be
all.
out for over 6 weeks.
You
You're in
think so?
charge
That
of
long on the
hiring,
fractured thumb?
and
Dude, he
Indeed
can't
has
grab the ball right
solutions
now?
like
Yeah.
online
Think
skills
about how precious
tests,
his hands
which
are.
let a
One thing-
candidate
Hunter,
show
how
that
much
they're the right
time till we're
hire.
back?
We'll also have
2
a Dolphin
minutes.
chatter
And then how much
excitedly in
time
front
do
of
we
the perfect
have?
candidate.
About
No,
7.
there's no Dolphin.
7 to the
Skills
music or
tests,
7
that's
total?
for
I think Teddy will be okay.
7 total it'll be.
All right, so 6 to the music.
Times
He'll be
more
okay.
hires than
Yep.
any other job site. Visit
6 when we come back, Tone.
today.
All right,
Get
we
a
got
free
some
sponsored
time to
job
break
We will
update
be
now.
back at 6:50, so then we'll have about 6 minutes and 50 seconds total.
This is Sarah's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
Driving cross country with 2 young children is ambitious, to say the least.
Yeah, we give away real
Then
shit
our
here,
check
Carl.
engine light came on.
Hey, I love that move
I want
by
to get
you,
to that.
Joe. That's
I
good
do want to
stuff.
go to the Army
Adjusted
Navy
it.
game this year.
Turned out it
The
was
first
a
one.
faulty
That's
sensor.
have you ever been?
They
Never.
referred us
I've
to
never
a
been to it
mechanic
either.
just
That's
down
a
the
bucket
street,
lister,
and we
man.
were
Is
back
it
on the
here?
road in
Yeah,
no
oh yeah, it's at the
time.
link, December 14th.
My
It's
birthday's the 15th.
Yeah, it's priceless.
I'm going to ask for him for a birthday present. Talk to the...
These guys are setting up all my tickets are up in the flight deck for that, so it's right up in the corner.
The bobblehead.
3 rows or whatever's there, I don't even know. Really, really good. Whoever goes, it's unbelievable.
I've never been to it just to watch it on TV. It looks
Oh,
amazing.
when it snowed, when it
Stand
snowed
by
once-
1 minute.
When it snowed 1
1
year.
minute, Nick.
Online and over
We're just going to come into
It
a
was like
song.
surreal. It was out of a movie.
I was there that year. That's the year we were having shots with the guys in the parking lot. It was freezing. There was ice
How do you
and
pick this
rain
music
coming down.
bobblehead
Like
easy.
7
How do
years
you
ago.
pick this music?
Yeah,
Is this your
that
vibe?
That was your
snow game,
website.
that was
Is
awesome.
it attracting the customers you want and
How do you
need for
pick
your
it? Is it your
business?
vibe?
We can help. Hi, this is Adam, online
picking
marketing
those?
consultant with Town Square
30
Interactive.
seconds.
We're offering one-on-one appointments to walk you through
Nick,
the
can you bring
opportunity
that
and help
audio
grow
down,
your online
please?
presence. You're good at what you
Okay.
do, so leave digital
Coming
marketing
back.
to Town
Nick,
Square
can you
Interactive.
get
We'll
that,
make
please?
sure your
We're back
business
in
has
30.
the online presence
He's
it
not-
deserves.
he's not understanding the
Month-to-month
question.
contracts,
Not at all.
You
I'm
don't
with
have to
you on
deal
this,
with an
though.
automated answering system when you choose Town Square Interactive. To schedule your private one-on-one
15,
meeting, call Jim
15.
at
15 seconds.
609-910-5247 today.
You're listening to the
that the
Eagles
band
Game
or
Day
us? Get rid of
Countdown
that,
to
Nick.
Kickoff show. Get to Tolman Joe's and register for your authentic Tony Bruno Eagles game jersey. Presented by Martin Law, the law firm for injured workers.
Here we are getting ready to wind it down. Countdown to kickoff live at Tollman Joe's in South Philadelphia. Is it Tollman or Tollman?
Toll man.
Like a toll. Like paying a toll.
Yeah, but people say Tollman and then they say Tollman. I say Tollman, not Tollman. But I hear people say Tollman all the time.
What do you
And
say,
by the way,
John McMullen? What do you say?
man. Toll
yeah,
man.
like Soul Man.
Yeah.
I'm a toll man. I'm a toll man. Looky here. Bum, bum, bum. Meanwhile, let's get you updated before we.
Great radio.
Thank you.
That is great.
I mean, you're not getting this
And that was
anywhere else.
Kiss coming in, right? We
Is
had
that Kiss coming
going
in?
out, Kiss coming in.
The Rams have scored. Todd Gurley with his first touchdown of the season. For all you fantasy nerds out there, Luigi, do you have Todd Gurley on your fantasy team?
Absolutely not, Tony.
That's why you don't care. 4-yard rush. The Rams are up now 20-6. Fourth quarter just starting. And the Eagles inactives. Let's go to John McMullen for the inactives tonight, because I'll be inactive too, but I'm not on the field.
Well, there's the obvious ones. Nate Sudfeld, who was doubtful, and obviously he's no longer the backup quarterback. Josh McCown is. Camus, Grugier, Hill, Jordan Mailata were already ruled out, so we knew they were out. Sharif Miller, rookie defensive end from Penn State. Nate Herbig, the undrafted rookie on the offensive line. Matt Pryor and Deshaun Hall for the second consecutive week is not active. I think people are a little disappointed by that only because Deshaun was so dominant in the preseason. But as Colin will tell you, preseason doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. Especially for
I disagree, but I hear what you're saying. It matters for some. It means more to some than others. But you're right, John. Correct. It does not matter in the scheme of, hey, plug and play the player because he played unbelievable in the preseason.
It doesn't matter to Dan Quinn. He's one of those guys who just mails in the preseason games more than any other coach, you would think. But anyway, so that's the latest on the inactives. The Bears lead the Broncos. They're in the 8.5 minutes
that,
left.
by the way, is the Vic Fangio Bowl.
Yes, it is. Vic Fangio. David Montgomery had his first career touchdown in that game, a 1-yard run, and the Bears lead it 13-6. Broncos now, for the second straight week, struggling offensively with Joe Flacco and company running the controls.
That's a tough spot there. That's a Bears team that's not happy how they played offensively, and for the Broncos, you're thinking, hey, we got Vic Fangio here. He knows how to stop this offense and make Mitch Trubisky uncomfortable.
They did. They only scored 13 points. Denver scoring only 6 at home. I know the Broncos defense, the Bears defense is good, but you go home after your first game where you didn't look good and you only put up 6 points.
Well, that's a really good front.
I know it is.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough spot for both teams there.
Yeah.
Bears are frustrated how things went. Obviously, the Broncos are as well. They're trying to find their rhythm offensively, and then you're going to come out and you got to face a Bears defense who was unhappy that they let up what? How many points they let up last week to the Packers? I forget, but it wasn't a ton.
No, it was only 10-3 that game, wasn't it?
It was 10.
It was
right?
a horrific game. It was
So,
10-3.
Yeah, it was an ugly game. Yeah. Hey, Joe Flacco's a South Jersey guy, but he's seen his better days. We got to be honest.
That's fair. I think it's fair to say for sure.
Yeah, but you would expect something a little. Again, I agree, Joe Flacco, but what Denver's been doing with their quarterbacks for the last 5 or 6 years,
Since
to
Peyton
finally
Manning.
go out and get a veteran guy and bring him in and just give you some sort of consistency, and they still, it doesn't matter whether you use Trevor Siemian, you name it, Jake Plummer. They bringing Jake Plummer back? Is he coming back? I saw a lot of sightings. You know who was all over Twitter this weekend?
Jake Cutler.
Jake Cutler, because of what's going on in Miami. And
don't forget the Paxton Lynch era. That last
Paxton Lynch.
Drew Lock's there now to Missouri. And another name that's got thrown into it is Case Keenum. Right, he's of the journeyman mold, who they actually let go there, who came out last week 30 for 44, 380.
Case Keenum is not a terrible quarterback.
No, he's a nice quarterback.
You need parts around him.
No question.
Luigi knows Case Keenum personally and grew up with him, I think.
I don't, Tony. But are we just going to glance over the Brock Osweiler era over there in Denver?
Yeah,
are we going to give that up?
I mean, the list
that was promising for a second, right?
It was about a half a second.
Brock Osweiler. I mean, just look at the list.
The most successful quarterback they've had was Tebow.
Tebow.
In the last 10 years, it's probably Tim Tebow.
Exactly.
Well, it's Peyton Manning, but
I know.
Don't worry about him, Luigi.
Yeah, but you know what?
Glance right over that.
Yeah.
How long ago was it that we used
anyway.
to sit around on Sunday afternoons watching Tim Tebow
Hoping
lead his
they
team,
lose.
but watching
Hoping
him
they're
lead
losing.
him to a come-from-behind win every single Sunday?
Speaking of Oklahoma,
I don't mean hoping they lose, hoping that he goes down like 3 scores so you can see the comeback.
Exactly.
But the reason why I brought up Keenum is I wanted to touch on this before we go. We got a few minutes left in the show. It's been a great show down here at Tolman Joe's. Case Keenum throws for 380 and 3 TDs. If Matt Ryan throws for over 350 and 3 TDs, it's a wrap. There's no way. I just think with their skill guys, and I think Freeman, he's a stud. He's a Pro Bowl type running back out of Florida State.
Luigi doesn't have him on his fantasy
That's
team.
a problem, though. I think it's an issue. If he throws for 350 and 3 TDs,
Well,
way they did in D.C. against D.C., that's an issue.
Jim Schwartz always talks about games have personalities.
Oh,
and
no
you look
question.
at the Super Bowl, it was a shootout. You look at other games we just mentioned, 10-3, Green Bay, Chicago. Look, Atlanta got down. So when you look at their passing numbers, they were down 28-0. So, of course, they were throwing the ball.
Yep.
And the numbers go up. I don't think it's a matter of does he throw for 350 yards, what have you. I mean, if you're up by 2 touchdowns, you're going to be running the football, and those numbers come down. So it's all about how the game unfolds.
Last minute, guys, I need a prediction.
I got Eagles by a field goal, 30-27, high-scoring game. I think it's a shootout. I think they go punch for punch, and I do think the Eagles pulled out a little bit better roster, and I give the nod to Doug Peterson.
I told you, Tony, the spot is bad. Atlanta Falcons, 28-24.
I'm gonna get people pissed off too. I think the Falcons win this game tonight. Luigi?
I agree with the bad spot, Tony. High-scoring game, 31-28 Falcons.
I'm not even an Eagles fan, and I'm the guy who picked them.
Ridiculous, man. We want to thank everybody for coming on out to Tollman Joe's. We'll be back. Hunter back in the studio. The great Joe Krause. Everybody involved. Miss Robin.
15.
Luigi roaming the parking lots. We'll see you back next week as we continue.
9.
The countdown to kickoff. Enjoy the game tonight, everybody. Thank you for joining us on 97.3
5,
ESPN.
4, 3.
Eagles Game Day Countdown to Kickoff show with Tony Bruno, a Jacob Media Sports presentation.
Okay, Hunter.
Health
Thank you,
Update
sir.
With Robin Stoloff, brought to you by Recovery Centers
Well done,
of America.
Thank you very much.
Couple tweaks, couple trims, and we'll get this show on the right path here in a couple of weeks. Good job.
Yeah, definitely. I thought this was a little bit smoother on my end just from me moving around all these pieces.
Yeah, lots of moving parts, but good job on your end. And remember, I'm looking to improve the show on a weekly basis. There are no egos here, so I'm open. Whatever suggestions you have, let me know.
Special Abilities
Absolutely.
Night is a
We'll be in touch.
friendly
Thank you, bro.
store clan.
Thank you. You too.
A night that is reserved for special needs families. It is reduced lights and noise. It's limited ticket sales to avoid overcrowding, and it is just a great night. The families absolutely love it. Please check out Special Abilities Night at storebaclan.com for more information.
Can you ask families to reserve their tickets in advance? Special Abilities Night, Friday, September 20th. I'm Robin Stoloff for Health Update.
Brought to you by Recovery Centers of America in Mays Landing. Affordable local drug addiction treatment. Historic Cape May invites you to enjoy the seashore experience with the best ocean views in the perfect location at the Marquis de Lafayette Hotel. It's just steps away from the beach. Enjoy happy hour from 4 till 7, Miller Lite Mondays with $3 Miller Lites all day, and Sports Bash live from 2 to 6. Then enjoy Tequila Tuesdays with $3 tacos, $3 Coronas, and $5 margaritas on the rocks. The historic Marquis de Lafayette Hotel, 501 Beach Avenue in the heart of Cape May. Visit marquiscapemay.com.
If you hear squealing and grinding noises from your vehicle, it's